gamers, and welcome to episode 334 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for June 26, 2021. I'm one of co-host Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
It's going all right, man. It's been a nice week, man. We had some good weather this week, and I think it all ends tomorrow. As next week is going to be like summer weather. Because I see 90s and high 80s, so I'm like, hey, June was an okay month. June was okay.
Yeah, it didn't end up being too bad.
Now we're getting into the devil's breath here. That's what
the worst part is like the cicadas are mostly gone away now, so now is when you could enjoy being outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the cicadas.
1,000 degrees.
The cicadas, they've been on the down swing this week. Like I haven't really seen them much. This week I hear them a little. They're not loud.
Nah.
So I guess they're done. I guess they finished. So that's all. I guess like they're just dead. But I don't see a lot on sidewalks and stuff like that. Like I remember seeing 17 years ago.
Yeah,
I used to see like a whole bunch of dead on sidewalks. They might be just in the grass. I don't know. I mean, maybe just not in my area. Put it like that. But actually, I wasn't in this area 17 years ago, so who knows what it looks like in my own neighborhood. But what else? You had that tragedy down in Miami, Surfside. It's with the collapse of the condo. And people are still missing, so thoughts and prayers to those. That's been the big story this week, and that is huge. I mean, that's crazy that like a whole side of a building just collapsing. I mean, all those people, man, like in there, and all the people, even the ones who didn't die in a tragedy, or we don't know. I mean, hopefully they'll find some more people, survivors in it, but
Absolutely.
That upends everybody because the only name ain't staying in there. At least it shouldn't be. So everybody has to leave from there, and it seems like maybe it's something that could have been prevented. It could be some like people not checking the structure damage. I don't know. They still going over that, but it's. Man, that is so messed up. I mean, like so unexpected. I mean, it's not even like a natural disaster where you know it's coming,
right?
And you're just anticipating.
You get some kind of warning.
It is no warning, man. It's no warning. I mean, you don't like what the hell, man. I can't even imagine. But yeah, let's get to some lighter news. Quickly through sports. I ain't gonna say much. Playoffs are in the finals of each conference. You got the Bucks and Atlanta, and as of today, which is Saturday, that series is tied. Then you have on the West, LA Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns. That series is 2-1 on Phoenix. So I think it's going to be Phoenix versus the Bucks. Because Clippers are down their best player. They are playing good, though. The Clippers are still playing good. They still got players, but I think Phoenix is going to bounce back from their loss. I mean, I think they're going to win the series. I don't know where it's going to go. Maybe 6 or 7. I have no idea. But I think Phoenix is going to win, and they're going to play the Bucks. And I don't know who will win that series. I just hope it's a good series. That's all I want. So, other than that, my Orioles still suck. They're not the worst team, though. Arizona has a worse record than them, so
rough.
We have that. But they did finally stop their road losing streak. I don't know what they were on, but they won last night, so yay. So we have that. What else happened? Anything big happened? It's probably some things big happened, but I don't know.
Yeah.
First active gay player come out in the NFL.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, don't ask me the name, but I know he's on the Raiders, and yeah, good for him. Good.
Absolutely.
Maybe they'll have to have like people who are in the closet, like that feel they can't express themselves. Hopefully this can open the doors for people to come out, because I'm sure there's plenty of players, because there's been players in the past who, who kept themselves in the closet because of the vitriol that can potentially happen if they came out. So hopefully this helps that. Like, it's good to be comfortable in your own skin, It's good. That's the one thing you want to be in life. All right. So, what else we got? I guess we can just go right into what we were watching. Oh, well, you guys, some wrestling news? Anything big happen in wrestling?
No, there were some more releases this week from WWE, mostly smaller names, though. Nobody of too much substance outside of maybe Tyler Breeze. People may know him from being on Xavier Woods' video game channel, Up, Down, Down.
So releasing as in like they're gone from WWE?
Yeah, as in the firings or let goes, I guess. Yeah. So, unfortunately, like, being smaller names, I don't know what they're really going to do, going forward. They're not necessarily guys that AEW's chomping at the bit to get, like when Andrade left or Tommy Yen / Aleister Black was let go. Yeah, it's really just fueling the speculation that people have been saying that WWE's going to sell to somebody, and they brought this guy in, Nick Khan, who apparently is in charge of all these releases as of late, and it sounds like he's basically just trimming the fat, and people are running with that, saying, this is what companies do before they sell, because they really are. They're just chopping their roster. I mean, especially when we were talking about guys like Braun Strowman. He's a guy that you would see in that company for basically ever. Like, he was the new Big Show. You wouldn't expect him to go anywhere. Of course, now you see Big Show has gone to AEW, but that's a whole other thing. But it sounds like he was on a big money contract, and, basically if they let him go now, they could probably get him to come back at a lower rate somewhere in the future if they really are interested in getting him back. So, yeah, it sounds like a whole bunch of money dealings right now, but I would be interested to see what would happen. One, who they would sell to. Two, what would happen after a sale. Like, would the product improve because you no longer have Vince McMahon being the guy that seemingly kind of ruins things sometimes? Or if it, got worse because secretly Vince McMahon was, has all these bad ideas, but also there are much worse ideas that he's kind of gatekeeping. Who knows? But I guess we'll see. This unfortunately is going to continue happening seemingly, and there's not much we can do about it. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks when people lose their jobs.
Yeah. So. All right. So I guess we get to what we've been watching. So I guess we watched the same things. I'm trying to remember that I watched anything else. Well, I'll start. I think it's a couple of things I didn't write up here. I watched Duncanville, which is a anime series on Fox. Oh. I finally checked that out. I watched like 3 episodes, and it's all right. It's an okay show. It's pretty funny. It's mainly about the kid. I think Duncan, his name, and he's in high school. And it's about his family, and his family. His family's pretty normal-ish. I mean, the whole cartoon is crazy. It's like it's out there. It's not realistic like King of the Hill or anything like that. But it's not too crazy like Family Guy. But it kind of is, because they do some. I guess it's probably on the realm of Family Guy, maybe. Like, just things happening that would never happen in like real life. And it basically deals. I mean, he's the main character, and it's like him going through high school, high school shit. And his father probably, it seems like he's not trying to be a cool dad kind of thing, but he's old. He's still an older dude, He likes the 80s. 80s rock bands and shit like that. And his mom is, I think she's a meter maid. Yeah, but she wants to be bigger than meter maid. Like, she wants to be up to detective. I think it was like one episode she was trying to do it. And he got a sister who's in middle school, and they have a younger sister who is Asian. I guess she was adopted. This is a white family, by the way. And Then I think there was a famous person who talks one of these characters. Maybe the principal, who's a black dude. But I don't remember who it
on
is.
This trailer, the names Amy Poehler, Ty Burrell, and Wiz Khalifa.
Or maybe it's Wiz Khalifa then, who is he's either his friend or the coach. I think he's probably not the coach, but the principal. He's the principal. Okay. He's the principal. I know who Amy Poehler is. I don't know who the other people you said were.
Ty Burrell was the dad from Modern Family.
Okay, he does sound like that. He plays the dad up here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's a funny show. I mean, I liked it. I also checked out the new show, Housebroken, which is pets basically talking, and that show was kind of similar to this, kind of out there. But the humans don't know they talk though. Like they just talk amongst themselves, and it's like they have a support group every day or every week or whatever. I don't know how often they have it, but they come into one of the dog's house and she's like the therapist, and they just talk about this stuff happen, problems and shit. Okay. And yeah, it's pretty funny. It's all right. I mean, it gets a little nasty when the one dog was trying to hold their poop in, and because she was she's attracted to this coyote, and she's supposed to go out with him, but she got her hair did, like she got her hair done at some pet boutique, and it looked weird, so she was embarrassed, so she wouldn't go outside, and then when she stretched, the poop came out and in the house, and she felt bad because she was a good dog. And the thing is, they show it, so I'm like,
of course they do.
But see, for you pets people, it's probably all right. I don't look at dog poop a lot, so it's not all right for me.
I still don't want to see it in my cartoons.
Oh, okay, but yeah, I was like, they just kept showing it and stuff like that. I was like, it's two dogs in that house, and he's like really goofy, but he's like a real dog, really. Like he reacts to things like a traditional dog would. So he was just like, hey, I can help make it disappear, because he's like he's going to eat it. He said, no, I have to own up to this or something. But yeah, it's a funny show. I didn't check out the other new show, like The North, which is Bob Bob's Burgers. Hell, I don't know if I don't think these other shows are Bob's Burgers, but at least they don't look like it. They don't have that kind of underbite kind of thing Bob's Burgers got going on there.
Yeah.
I didn't check that one out yet. I think that's not like the only one. I don't know if there's another animated show. Mordock, I'm almost done. I think it's only 8 episodes, I think. I forget what it is. But I'm almost done that. It's still pretty funny. I think that's it until we get to the 3 that we both watched. What you want to start with?
We can start with Loki, probably.
Oh, okay.
'Cause we got 2 episodes of that to go through.
Oh, that's it?
Give me 1 second. She fell over, and she might flip out.
You got to roll her over?
Yeah, I gotta roll her onto her back.
Yeah.
All right, she's fine.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? Last week we skipped, and then we got this week's to talk about.
Oh, darn. It was, yeah, I mean, the episode was fun. And it was, I was kind of upset we didn't get more into her background, though. I wanted that, but maybe in these few episodes we will get something like, what's her motive? What is she, and where she come from? Like, what was her life before this?
Right.
And
how did she, what was her Loki life like before she decided she didn't want to be a Loki anymore and create her own path? But yeah, like what is her intention with the timekeepers, and do we end up confronting the timekeepers at some point? Yeah,
and are the timekeepers are going to be looked at as the antagonists, because now that we know that these people all had lives, it seems like the people of the time cop people all
time
came from
variance
places.
Authority, TVA.
It had lives apparently before they became
all
time
variants
cops
instead of being created, because that's what their propaganda was saying. I'm already on board with them being the antagonist. Dominant. Their propaganda spreading Miss Time or whatever her name is, saying all these people were created just for this job. You stole them from their lives.
So this is like a theme of Marvel that they're always going to do is like, oh, the antagonist that you think it is not really is.
Twist. Yeah.
It seems like that's what's been happening with these shows so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Neither one were like particularly action packed. They obviously had their moments, especially this one, like the fight on the train. And then like the ending sequence where they're just running through the exploding city, basically. But I'm okay with that. Like it's pretty chill series, and I'm intrigued by the actual story of the characters, in a way that I don't need it to be balanced as much as like Captain America and the Winter Soldier, because like that just felt like those heroes are more action guys, right? So I needed a little more action out of them.
Yeah. I mean, well, Loki, I never saw him as that type of dude anyway, so
yeah,
I didn't expect that from this series. I expected more something mystical or, well, what's it doing? Like more sci-fi-ish, I guess. So yeah, and that's what I'm kind of getting. And so you're saying there's only 2 more left? There's only 5 episodes in the series?
I think it's 6.
So it's 3 more left then?
Yeah, I think it's 3 more.
Okay. Yeah, they've been pretty decent. I mean, I like that. There's not really much for me to say about it, though, honestly. Yeah. I don't... Yeah, there's not really much to say. Maybe it'd be more a lot because it's still a mystery. Everything's still somewhat a mystery, except for what I just said about the timekeepers. Everybody's a variant, and they hid it from them. Yeah. All right. So, what's the next one you want to talk about? What's the next movie?
You want to do Raya, since that one's been out a little longer?
Okay, yeah, Raya. So, what do you think of Raya?
I enjoyed Raya a lot. It kind of goes by very quickly. Like they jump between getting the different pieces of the dragon stone or whatever it is pretty quickly. Like they're very much just like scenes real quick. I maybe expected a little more to each one, but I don't think that was too much of a problem. I think like the pace is pretty brisk, and they keep it moving in a way that, you know, actually keeps it entertaining, and it didn't feel like a slog or anything for too long. Yeah, overall I think it was enjoyable. The action sequences were fun. Her interactions with the dragon, I thought were okay. Like I wasn't laughing my ass off or anything with the dragon. I can't remember the dragon's name, but I thought overall
was it
good movie.
Awkwafina was talking for her?
Yeah, she's the one that plays her. And I think this is the first time I've actually I've heard of Awkwafina, especially since I guess she was huge in coming out of Crazy Rich Asians, but I still haven't seen that movie. So this is kind of really my first introduction to her outside of a clip too. In Shang-Chi.
I thought she was a white lady.
Yeah,
I didn't know who Awkwafina. I mean, I heard the name, but I never looked. I never seen her face.
Right.
I just heard somebody say Awkwafina. I never knew the people's name of Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians. That was, I don't know. Yeah, that's a movie that I was ever interested in watching.
Yeah.
But because it felt like a love story, even though it was a comedy, but a comedy love story or something. I'm not into that. I'm not really into that that much. So that's why I didn't check it out. But I thought she was all right. I thought she was pretty cool in here. I mean, yeah. I mean, we went. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really laughing. But I mean, yeah. I think I felt like I enjoyed the movie. I did enjoy. Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. It was a good story. You know, like a good adventure. Yeah. I mean, it was good. I did like it better than the next one we talk about.
You did? Okay. Yeah, so Luca, the new Pixar movie, came out last weekend, and I enjoyed this one a lot as well. It's very chill though. Like it's not, there's not a lot going on. It's just really kind of a character piece about these two boys that are really mermaids or mermen, I guess, and they're trying to live it up as kids in this little like Italian village. So what in particular, is there something you didn't really like about it, or was it just not as good as Raya?
I just think it's not as good as Raya.
Gotcha.
That's it. I mean, the movie, well, here's the problem with Luca that I had after thinking about it for a while after I watched it. Like, watching it, I enjoyed it. It's a nice movie. But thinking about it, when I was just thinking about the movie, there's too many plot holes. First, they don't really explain why they can change just to people when they come out of water. Then the people just accepting them seems a little extreme for people that were very scared of them, like trying to find a sea monster. Like, they accepted them pretty quickly.
Especially when you don't really, like, it makes sense for the people that they've been interacting with a lot, like the dad of the girl. That would make sense to me because he's gotten to know those boys and he's like, okay, they're cool. Yeah. But for the entire town who, I mean, it's a small town, but also it doesn't seem like they've been interacting with those people a lot. It does seem kind of weird that they're just like, okay, yeah, they're mermen. That's fine.
And the whole, well, it was another problem I had. I mean, but not explaining, like, why, hey, what's the deal? Why they can just be humans when they come on land? I mean, that's like the best of both worlds. It's like, you would love to be that. Like, hey, you can breathe underwater and breathe on land. I mean, good God. And him going to a school with her, and then you see at the end when they show those drawings of the future of them, like him interacting with her while they're in school and his friend doing things in the village when they were, like, you see what happened. And when they showed him, like, showed the class about he can change his hand, I'm thinking, wait a minute, they just accept him. I said, I was like, if this was like a TV show or something, I would be like, yeah, because they do that. They just let things have plot holes you don't think about too much. But I was like, I don't know. I mean, but like, if you're just going by the interactions with the two boys and the girl and everything, it is a good movie. I mean, it's fun. I did enjoy it. Yeah, and like you said, it's chill.
Sweet. Yeah.
Like, it's real chill. But it is on my low end of Pixar movies, too. I mean, it's not a bad movie. I mean, I think it's better than, like, the dinosaur and the dinosaur one, Good Dinosaur, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And Brave. I gotta watch Brave again. I keep saying that. Maybe I'll like Brave better more now. Yeah. Because I don't really remember it anymore. I just remember I didn't like it. I think it's better than Brave. I think it's better than what's another Pixar movie? Cars 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't watch all of Cars 3. I mean, I didn't like what I was watching. I
got to get around.
I think I just stopped
watching Cars.
I think I just stopped it. And I mean, it's a nice movie, but it's nothing like, I didn't see nothing special for me with it. I mean, I did like the interaction with the boys. That was funny, but it's nothing that really sticks out for me, except for the cat. I think the cat sticks out for me. And, I mean, that was pretty funny with the cat interacting, like looking at him, and when they threw him in the water, I thought that was pretty good. And yeah, something that really stuck out to me or anything. But yeah, I just felt like it could have been something there. Like, hey, can you explain why y'all are like this?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because that's not even really part of like the standard merman mythos, right? Like that you can't just take that for granted. It's almost like, why is your world special in this way? It would be nice if there was a little bit of
and also
just
why
lip service to it at least.
What does he do with the fish? Like, he go out and graze the fish to eat like they're sheep, or are they supposed to be like cows and they eat them?
Definitely like cows and they eat them.
Okay. That's I was thinking, because I was like, well, I wish they would show that, but the way they make it is like, hey, he really likes the fish. But I was like, but I guess maybe the cowboy, you get attached to the cows, but then you're like, oh, time to die.
Yep.
And then you go
gotta
ahead
put
and
old Bessie down.
Yeah. It was good while it lasted, Bessie.
Yeah. I did like, excuse me, some of the things about it, like the dad being cool with the boy at the end. Like they set him up as this like big rough character, and they're worried about him finding out. And then he finds out and he's cool with that. And that's kind of a little subversion of what you would expect. And that was neat. But yeah, for it to be like the entire city just falls in line as quickly as he does. And for him, at least there's some development there where it's like, oh yeah, he's been working with these boys. He thinks they're good boys. And, you know, doesn't matter if they're Aquamen or not, you know. But in reality, he's just using him, Dominic. He's like, this fish boy is going to get me more fish. And I'm not going to go to the poorhouse.
And also, they cheated in that race because there was 2 people on that bike, and that's not allowed. That shouldn't be allowed.
Yes, but it's balanced out by the fact that he didn't cheat at the beginning because he was using that suit, so it took him forever to cross the line.
They didn't say that. They never explained that.
That's what I'm explaining. That's my headcanon, Dominic. Yeah. Yeah, visually it's very nice though. Like it really is pleasant. Everything about it is kind of just pleasant, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That's what it was for me. Like it does give you kind of a vibe of the small Mediterranean town and whatnot that I'm sure I will never visit. So yeah. It was all right.
I think that's not a realistic town. I don't think that's
the thing that confused me the most about this movie is like seeing that one bully like at the beginning. I'm like, why is this like 35-year-old guy bothering this 12-year-old? Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like a little semi-mustache, but he said he's probably like 17 or 18. And
yeah, because he says he's 16, and then they're like, oh, you said you were 16 last year or something like that. But he definitely, like, just from the size of him and everything, the first time I saw him, I was like, why is this, like, 21-year-old bothering this, like, 12-year-old girl? Like,
and the thing is, I seen the trailer for it, and I didn't remember him being that big. When I saw him big, I said, this guy looks older. I said, he does look older. And then I said, okay, I see. They're making him like those people who are just, he just a bully, and he just stays bullying the younger people.
Because even his friends don't seem as old as he is.
Oh, no, they're not. I don't think they are. I don't think he can get people his friends his age. So he has to, like, bully them to be his friends.
Yeah.
But I just wonder, like, so they don't understand Italian, so what are they speaking? Are they speaking English?
Yeah.
Because those people are speaking English and Italian.
Right. Yeah. It's very...
I was thinking that they knew Italian, though. I was thinking, like, oh, they know Italian because they live right there. But I was like, oh.
And then he just tells everybody to shut up, stupid or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a cool movie. But this movie does... but Mariah, to mention. Like, Mariah, how everything is Southeast Asian. Mm-hmm. Like, all the characters and the people who talk for him. It just makes me angry. I mean, I'm happy that they do that, but it just makes me angry as a black man or a black person that we can't get a movie like that. Because Soul wasn't that movie. I thought it was going to be that movie. They kind of advertised it like that movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. Like, why can't they can get all Asian characters, but we can't get all black? And then I know there could be an argument saying like, oh, but they're not all the same type of Asian. Well, it's not. It's like it's all the same type of blacks either.
Right.
You know, you got your Caribbean blacks, you got your Afro Latinos, you got your Africa has like 52 damn countries. You got all of them.
How did this movie sell in China, Dominic? Did they release it in China? Did it blow the box office away?
I have no idea how. If it did release in China or not. I didn't look at numbers.
That's the only excuse I could see for them is like,
that's not an excuse.
We're doing this for the Chinese market.
But I mean, that's not a good
excuse. But like they wouldn't say that out loud, but they're, secretly that's what they're basing their things on because they're like, hey, these fuckers are selling.
Here's the thing, Daniel. I want people just to admit it. Like, I don't even care if it doesn't happen. I just want people to admit and say, because people say this country is not racist. I just want them to admit it. Just say it's racist. That's why you didn't do it.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that.
I mean, but that's what it is. That's the only fucking reason. That's the only fucking reason. All right. So I guess we can move on to what we've been playing. So what you been playing, man?
All right. So I played a couple of the games you played last week from the E3 Summer Fest Xbox thing. Also some of the stuff that's on the Steam thing. So I played a little bit of Tunic. I liked the vibe of that game, but it didn't draw me to the end. Like, I didn't feel like I had to reach the end of that game. The end of that demo. I got to fighting like the big skull creature and he killed me, and then I was like, I think that's when we ended up turning on Luca and check that out. So it seems cool. I'm definitely looking forward to that game still. I like the way it felt. I like the way it looked.
There was no puzzles, right?
Not that I came across. No, it was just getting to the sword.
I wonder if it's just that. Like, if there's any puzzles in this game, or the only similarity to Zelda is the combat and things of that nature. And he wears a tunic.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I really hope there are puzzles. At the very least, like, kind of combat puzzles like you see in a Zelda where it's like the boss uses this new tool that you picked up or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. I also played some Sable. I came to the end of that
What do you think
demo.
about the difficulty of the game?
Of Tunic, I thought it wasn't too bad. I died twice. But for the most part, like, the enemies really seemed like they got stunned if you kind of locked them into a combo. So it didn't seem like I was too worried about getting hit by them. Now, like, there was the weird projectile guys near the sword that just shot out like a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
Almost like bullet hell, but it wasn't that bad. So I don't know, because I know people were saying like it's kind of Souls-like or whatever, but part of that could just be that you can go back and pick up your loot that you dropped. I didn't get the vibe of, like, what would scare me is like very deliberate movement and stuff like that, where you're locked into frames when you swipe your sword and things of that nature, which is what usually feels more clunky to me. So yeah, I that difficulty of it didn't bother me too much. Now, maybe if I had, come up against that big skeleton guy a little more and died a couple of times, maybe that would have been a problem for me. And I'm concerned that the rest of the game might be like this, but the standard enemies didn't really give me too much trouble. And then once you get the sword, they really weren't much of a threat. So thought that was fine. So that, I also played some Sable, which you talked a little bit about last week. Did you complete that demo? You didn't when you
no,
were talking
I never
about it
went
last
back
week,
to.
right?
I mean, it's still on there.
Is it? Oh, it didn't go away.
No.
Okay, that's good. Because there were a couple of other games I downloaded on Steam. I'm not sure if I have access to play them anymore or not. But yeah, I that game we talked about it looks beautiful. Like, it's a very chill game so far. I mean, it's, I don't know. It kind of ended before like I wanted it to, because in the demo you're kind of gathering parts to build your bike. Like, that's the whole thing, is like your character is going on this like what's the word I'm looking for? Like excursion. You're leaving the town and, discovering whether you want to kind of live outside, like an Amish Rumspringa kind of thing. It seems like, where you get to go out and experience the world, and then you decide whether you want to come back or not. And you get this like hover bike kind of thing, jet speeder almost. But the one that you're given in the demo is like this broke ass one, because the guy that was supposed to get you your new bike for your adventure like seemingly forgot about it or whatever. So at a certain point in the demo, you get like this power, like this floaty bubble power, and that seems pretty cool to help you traverse around the world. Yeah, I liked it, but there wasn't a whole bunch going on in that demo. Like, it kept me busy there. There were a lot of activities to do. Well, there were a couple of things to do. There wasn't like a whole lot of side stuff necessarily, but it's a demo. Mostly I'm wondering what this actually is. Like, is there going to be any sort of combat to it? That's not a prerequisite for me, but I do usually find myself a little more entertained by games that have a little bit of that, because it just adds to the variety of it, right? If I'm just, crawling around and climbing up things and jumping off of stuff, I enjoy platformers, obviously, but there can be a little more to it than that. Even platformers usually have some form of combat or whatever. So I'm apprehensively excited about it. Like, it looks very cool. It felt really good. It has a good chill vibe to me. Like, it's a game that I would totally just put on a podcast or listen to some music and play through and do whatever collectibles and stuff like that. But I do wonder where it goes. The story interests me, though. Like, I am intrigued by this person's adventure outside of this small town that you see, and I want to see what they do with that. Is most of this world going to be like this weird deserty place that we're seeing now and in the trailers, or is there going to be, this huge expansive area where you get different biomes and you get your freezy section and you get your foresty section and that kind of thing? So, yeah, I thought it was cool though overall. Another one I played. This one I played on the PC. Lake.
Sorry. Back to Tunic. How do you think it ran? Because, like I said, it didn't run as smooth as I saw it while I was watching a video. Yeah, honestly, nothing stuck with me. So I'm gonna say it seemed all right for me. Because if it was too bad, I definitely would have had that as a problem. So yeah, I don't recall having any issue with Tunic being weird. Oh no, I mean it was stable, but it just, I seen it didn't run at 60. Like I seen it ran at 6. Like I don't know if it was even 30, honestly. Gotcha. I have no idea. Like I don't know how many frames per second it is. But it just felt like when I seen Tunic, it just ran a lot smoother from the videos I seen than what I played on my Xbox. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't recall noticing anything that bothered me too much. I'll be the first to admit that I can't really see a huge difference sometimes in 60 and 30. Like I think when I was playing Control, that was kind of the thing where I was like, oh, I'm going to turn these settings on, and then until it dumped down to like 15 or in a really inconsistent 30, I wasn't bothered too much. Yeah, so I did play Sable on the PC. I also played Lake, which is, we talked about it a little bit. I can't remember which press conference it was a part of now, but you're basically this woman returning to her hometown. Oh, what you play? You played Tunic on the Xbox, right? Yeah, I don't think it was available on the PC because I looked there first to see if it was up there. So I played that on the Xbox, which is also part of why I probably didn't finish it, but that's a whole other thing. So Lake, you're this woman returning to your hometown. It sounds like you're doing your father a favor because he's the postman there, or a postman there, and you're letting him and your mother go on a vacation, and you're kind of taking a break away from the hard city life because you're like a programmer for this app in like the 1980s. So you go back there, and it's basically a game of you going around and driving your mail truck around and delivering letters and packages. And it seems like there's going to be some other stuff. Like at one point, because it goes day by day, right? So I did one day and I dropped off this mail to this lady, and I'm like, oh, here's this teddy bear. It's from your son. And she's like, he never comes to visit me. And you're like, oh God, this is going to be this lady that you see a whole bunch. And then the next day I came back to deliver a letter to her house, and she's out front, and she's like, oh my God, my cat just, he's not responsive. Can you take him over to the guy who's maybe not a vet, but also kind of a vet, but he runs the bait shop, so he knows about animals, I guess. Even though that just says to me he's going to take your dead ass cat and throw him in the water. So it seems like there's going to be more to it than that. I met like a video at
lady at the video store that was like, hey, I recommend watching this movie. And then at the end of every day, you get to choose whether you're going to like watch TV or read a book. And then it gave you the option to watch the movie that she gave you. So
what is this, like The Sims or something?
No, it's like a third person, just, it's sort of life sim, like sort of a walking simulator almost. It too is very chill. It's another one that I would just put a podcast on and deliver some mail. But the only thing is, it is
boring. You put a podcast on and deliver mail. I mean, what the fuck? Let's go to the work at the post office.
No, thank you. And then you got to deal with real people. Just, yeah. So it seems all right. I actually liked it a lot. And there is some story stuff going on there that I would be intrigued by. So it seems, I don't want to say like a Life is Strange, because there doesn't seem to be any
story
sort
stuff.
of.
Because you say you're going to put a podcast. Yeah. I'm thinking like nothing, they ain't doing. Nobody's doing anything.
There's still plenty of like between time. I feel like there's going to be, for every 25 stops that you're going to do, there's going to be like maybe 4 or 5 characters each day that you might actually interact with. So it's just kind of a lot of driving around this town. It's a town built around, there's a big lake in the middle and just kind of a circle, and then, branches off of that for the town.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's something that I would have to pause. So I would actually probably at some point stop listening to podcasts for it and just, go into the next thing. But yeah, it is very much just like slice of life, not really a lot of things going on, not a lot of action. And people would definitely consider it boring if it's not what they're into. But for me, it's just kind of like, oh, this is chill. It's not something I'm going to necessarily go out of my way to play when it comes out, but just as a nice little chunk of the game in demo form. I was like, I'll check this out. It seems kind of neat. So,
okay.
Yeah. I also played some golf with friends. Mostly it was just to test out the Xbox game xCloud stuff on my laptop. I wanted to see how the browser stuff works. And it seemed fine. Just like previous experiences with it, like so more recent experiences. Is that still
like a bait? Like you gotta, can I get on it, or is this something you have to get invited to? I'm not sure. I'll have
to send you the link and see if it just lets you sign in or not. Cause it's not like open access now, but I'm not sure if there's some kind of like weird restriction to it or anything like that. Like I couldn't really find anybody linking to it. I just happened to find like a previous email where they had sent me a thing saying like, hey, this is available now to try out. So I'll put the link in when we go to break and see if it works for you. But golf with friends is basically like a mini golf type thing, but it's from like a first person perspective. So you're like behind the ball, and that's kind of difficult. Also, at least the mode that I played was timed, so it only gave you certain amount of time for each of the holes. Uh-huh. And that game got very hard very quickly. Like there's a lot of moving things and like different levels and stuff like that to it, where it's like, oh, I have to hit it onto this platform, and then this platform moves up, and then I have to go onto this next level and around this corner and up this tube and stuff like that. So it's a very cool game, but I wasn't using a controller. I was just testing out the touch controls that they have as part of, because there are some games where they're like, we've built touch controls specifically for this. Yeah. So with the touch controls, there was some kind of finickiness to it that I think would be solved by using like an analog stick. But overall, the game seems really neat. It's something that I've always kind of been looking at, but never got around to trying, even though it's on Game Pass. And I think I might put some more time into it.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Golf with friends. I gotta check that out.
Definitely did not play with any friends, though. I'm sure there's, modes online to play with different people and stuff. Yeah, so that was neat. I did also pick up Mario Golf, and I played basically just one round of that. Not really going to talk much about it, but so far I'm enjoying that. And I also
how
played...
was the hold on.
Sorry.
How was the streaming with the Golf with Friends? Like
the streaming in general was pretty solid. I didn't have too much trouble. It's despite it being timed, like it's not a particularly fast-paced game, so I didn't really run into any like lag issues or anything like that. It was a mostly solid experience. I wouldn't be against playing it again like that. And you know, I'm kind of on the more positive side of the game stream stuff. Like I'm excited for that to become a thing, and especially now that they have, you know, last week we talked about them switching over to like Xbox Series X hardware to run the streaming stuff. Apparently they've done that now, so I'm definitely intrigued to see how something runs on that versus like my base Xbox One. And, you know, I was waiting. I was checking to see if they actually did like a Digital Foundries comparison of that yet, but I haven't seen anything. Because that's what I'd be interested to see is like, if I can now basically get the Xbox Series X experience anywhere, including my Xbox One, like that's what I was telling you. I thought they were going to do was just basically put out a cheap ass box and say like, hey, you can play the next gen games with this, you know, $99 Chrome stick or whatever be through streaming. And then we're going to get you locked into the Game Pass subscription. But that wasn't the route they went. And maybe they will, because, you know, Game Pass is coming to, or xCloud is coming to like built-in TVs and stuff in the future. But yeah, so I think it was pretty good experience. I'm just excited to be able to do that instead of just being locked into like my phone. Once I can do it on my computer or basically anything, anywhere. And if we're talking about like being able to do that with all future Xbox exclusives, like I'm really putting a lot of consideration into whether I'm going to ever need an Xbox Series X or not. Yeah. Yeah. And then I played some Luigi's Mansion 3. I borrowed that from a guy at work, and so far it's all right. I haven't spent a lot of time with it, probably around an hour or so. I've done some of the combat encounters, but I haven't really gotten to a lot of the puzzle stuff yet, which is what I'm actually looking forward to. The controls, playing it at the beginning especially, like I think it's something that I'll get a little more used to as I play more of it, but it reminds me of why I maybe bounced off the original game on the GameCube, because Luigi's walking around in these very isometric views. Like you're seeing things from a very specific perspective. Like you can't control the camera or anything.
Oh, okay.
But if you move with the left stick, Luigi moves around freely. But then you also have the right stick controlling where he's looking. But since he can also change the way he's looking with the left stick, it gets a little confusing for me. Like if they made it so you could only, if you could only turn with the left or with the right stick, and then your left stick was to move around, I think it would make a lot more sense in my mind. So I'm not just kind of willy-nilly, because I really do find myself like just spinning around in the wrong direction or like flailing a little bit more than I would really like to. Especially, I'm worried that in more complex boss encounters or something like that I'm really going to get screwed up by that and really not have a good time with it. And I think maybe that's what pushed me away from that original game. And that's what I could see pushing me away from this game. But I'm hoping that just the more time I spend with it, the more I get used to it and the more I overcome. But I definitely feel like right now there's a different control scheme that could have made it work better. So, yeah, that's basically been it for me, though, this week. What about you, Dominic?
All right. So I played a game called Paint the Town Red. That was one of the Idea Xbox Summer Game Fest games. And that's the one I actually put in the video. I forgot to change the title because I put the wrong title of the game down, and I gotta remember to edit that. It actually played it like last week. I forgot to mention it. So you're playing these blocky figures that look like Minecraft kind of figures, and you're just fighting people, and like I guess how many people you can beat up in the time limit, and that's how you win. Okay. So like you start a bar fight, you pick up a chair or a bottle or anything, and or you can just punch the guy, and then everybody just start fighting, and everybody start fighting each other. So, but you get certain powers that you can use, like slow motion and stuff, and you can also like power punch where they explode, and it kind of get all gruesome. It's gruesome, but it's like Minecraft kind of gruesome, so it's not that gruesome.
It's intense. Like I'm watching the trailer for it now, and like the first scene that you show is this guy with like a knife or something, and he jabs out the eyes of this Minecraft-esque looking character.
Yeah. So it's crazy, and it seems like, this looks fun, but I just wonder, it's not something I really would buy to play. Like, not me anyway. I think maybe some kid will really love this. Like, maybe a very, very younger me will like, oh yeah, I'll play this. Even though this
the age that should not be playing this game.
Yeah, but that was the only way I would play a game like this. If I was like a very young kid. As an adult, I don't see like, I'm like, there's other violent games that I think I can get my fix on. That's a whole lot better than something like this. But I mean, because it was nothing that really, the gameplay didn't really grab me to a point where I was like, oh yeah, I just am so addicted to this, like I can play it. It's the controls are iffy. So it's, so if it is a mature game, who is this game for? Yeah. And I think we already know this, that even mature games are for kids, because that's the bottom line. Like they can say they're for adults, but we know kids play them, and they know it. They know it too. So I'm looking at this game. This game ain't just for teenagers. I mean, like for 17 and up. This game is for people like maybe like the younger teenagers, and even middle school, and some elementary school. Exactly. So yeah. So I can see them having fun with it. But it's something that really grabbed me from the game. I mean, it was funny. It's funny playing this game, but I could never see myself buying it. What else I played? I played another game called Wunderling. This is another idea Xbox game that came out during the Summer Game Fest, but it's still out there. You still can play this, and just like Sable, I saw was still there, because Paint the Town Red, I wasn't able to even click on again. Like that was gone. And I'm trying to think of another game. I think Tunic was still there, I want to say, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. But Wondering, you're playing an underling. It's pretty funny. It's almost like breaking the third wall kind of thing. Like, you see the hero. First you play it as the hero who is a carrot, and who was trying to save the princess. Like, all these side-scrolling games are. It's a side-scrolling game. Kind of like a Mario. And so then you see, after you play the stage, which you can't die, because I tried, at least I couldn't die from enemies. Like, they just go right through me. Because I guess they just want you to hurry up get through this stage. So you get through the end, and then you see the main bad lady, witch. And she has a cow who's her, maybe her Igor, I guess. And she's talking to him like her assistant. He's an assistant to her. So she's saying, I have to stop this and, stop this guy from winning, blah, blah, blah. And then she's doing, a news report. So it's, propaganda to the people of this world, saying how this carrot guy is doing all these wrong things, and I'm going to stop him. And then she gave powers to one of the underlings. She brought you back to life after the carrot got stomped on you, and now you're going after him. But you move just like how a Goomba or something moves. Not side to side, but like the enemies in these kind of games, they keep moving they keep moving. Like, they don't stop moving. So the way the game works is that it's almost like a running, what you call it? The running
like
games.
An infinite runner.
Yeah. It's almost like an infinite runner, almost.
Okay.
But when you bump to something, you go the other opposite direction.
Huh.
So
you don't have any control over which direction you're going necessarily? You're always going right until you bump into something?
He's always going right and left. You just got to jump. You just got to jump, and I think you end up maybe you get some other things later on in the game. I'm not sure, but you just have to jump at the right time or time your jumps, and sometimes you get on these bubbles that will push you back somewhere. Sometimes you got to try to avoid them. And you can get these secret chests, so you have to figure out what's the best way to go. Or, cause after you beat a level, you can do a retry if you want to get the secret chest or not, or you can just keep going. So it's kind of like that. Like each stage is not that long, cause it's kind of almost like a quick thing. Almost, I guess, like a Super Boy or something, Super Meat Boy or something like that.
Okay.
So each one is quick. And then I got to the end of this world, and you're fighting the carrot guy, and then she gives me more powers, turns me to like a dragon, and I beat him. Ooh. But thing is, so we think like, oh, we won, but you didn't win. Then he bounces on your head, and he's like, I got 2 more lives because the extra lives. So I think that's how the game goes. It's cute. I like it. I like it. The dialogue is funny. It's not it's all text based. But it's funny to read, and I might look to this game because it looks like a fun game, and I like how the puzzle aspect of it, like almost like a free runner or infinite running type, but different, not just going forward or left, like you really have to manage your guy. Like it's like a free runner in Mario style, I guess, a Mario style stage or any those platformers kind of stages.
Yeah, it seems cool. There's a demo available on the Switch too right now, so I'm guessing that probably is still available, which is nice.
Oh yeah. Well, I played this after the idea Xbox stuff was over.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I didn't know the date of when the idea Xbox stuff was going to end. I thought it was at the end of the month, and then when I went there, I saw like, hey, I don't see all these games I saw before because I wanted to try some other games. I think the lake is still up there too. Okay. Because you play that on PC, right?
Yeah, I played that as part of that.
So I think that because I had downloaded that and I just didn't play it yet, and I was like, oh, so I was like, so like, just like last year, all the games didn't go away, just some of them did. All right, so what else I played? I played that new game that came out, the Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, which is kind of like it's not really not really a sequel, but it was a Dark Alliance game, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance game that came out years ago. And this is kind of like the successor, I guess, to that kind of thing. And it is awful. I do not like this game.
No.
Because the combat I don't like, and it doesn't feel good. It feels very kind of stiff. All right, so the combat feels really stiff. It like you use the R, B, and the right trigger to hit, which I've never been a big fan of, but I got used to it because other games have done it. But it's third person action. And I guess people say it's better to play with people, but just to feel the game, I just don't like. Like I just don't like the controls. And it's just dull. I mean, it's pretty dull. I never even got past the first stage. I just didn't enjoy myself playing it. I mean, it just, and the powers you have, I mean, I just played as the dwarf. So I didn't play that long, but what I played of it, I did not enjoy of this game. And I played a lot of the first stage. It just was not fun to play. It's just very dull. That's all I can really say right now. Because I didn't play a lot of it. And I don't know if I even want to. Maybe I'll try. They got some cheats out there, a trainer out there. I used it, but yeah, I still wasn't having fun with the trainer. So I don't know. I think this is just not the game for me. It just doesn't feel good at all. And I think it's got not that great a review. The best review I seen was the PC Gamer, and people were like, "I don't trust you" on the forums of the PC Gamer. Well, the comment section. People were like, they don't trust this guy saying this. It's like, hey, I usually follow you and enjoy the games you like, but I don't know how you like this game. And a lot of people was like, man, I played this game. This game is trash. And something like that.
Oh, shit.
Like they don't understand how this guy likes this game. Like he gave it an 8 point something. It's like, how did you give this game an 8?
Yeah.
And it's like, because that's what I didn't play the game yet. And I saw that. I said, okay, let me try this game out. Maybe it's really good. But then I saw the other reviews on Metacritic. They weren't that great.
Yeah, it definitely seems decisive.
It just, it feels pretty dull. I know every game has people who just like it. Because I looked on Twitter under Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, and people are like, yeah, don't listen to the reviews, man. This game is all right. This game is fun. They say, I used to like the old one back in the day. And I was like, I say, so what? Doesn't mean that this one's good.
Right.
What the hell? But people have the mindset, though. I mean, people, they say because they like something like 20 years ago, that if it comes out again, it's like, yeah, I want to get this game because I used to like it when it came out. And I think that was a long time ago, man. Do you still like games like that? But maybe, and some people do. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I know it's some things I liked 20 years ago that I don't like now. I wouldn't like now. So, and I'm thinking that I even think this game is not played like the other game. I really don't think it is. I think this is different. And
that's what I've heard. It's not the same type of game even.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think the other game was like a top-down kind of action looter, like a looting game, like kind of a la Diablo, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I don't remember it being third-person action. I remember seeing that game. Because that's what I thought this was. When I saw this game, when I started playing, I said, oh, the camera's behind the back. Okay, this is interesting. And it's still somewhat, you do loot and things, but it's just, it doesn't grab me like Diablo does or anything. The controls are pretty bad. Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling it. And I mean, like I said, I ain't playing long enough to even get like anything from a story of it. So, I mean, if I can find it where I can get a cheat for like one hit kills, I will do it. Because I have not found that yet. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like I was just tired of just hitting these enemies, like doing these awful combos. These combos that feel so slow and sluggish.
That's unfortunate.
I was like, let me get through this shit. All right. What else did I play? I played some more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I am right now I am assassinating some people of the Ancients of the Order of the Ancients, I think they're called.
Oh, okay.
So, who I think are basically the
Templars,
yeah. So I guess
gross.
that's them, because I don't see they don't call them Templars, and I'm guessing like, hey, this is just another name for them. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like assassinating some of the ones that are not part of the main story, like you can just kind of do on your own. Then I'm going to go up north to do a story mission, which is still gaining alliance around the world. But it looks like I can see where the story's somewhat leading to. It's going to be somewhat leading to me, because it does kind of tell you that at the beginning, because at the beginning you do talk to your seer or something, that, people that tells the future, like your future or something, like, and prophesies. She said that I would betray my brother, my best friend and brother. And I said I would never do that. But the way my brother has been acting, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's going to happen. That's what I said. And like, everybody's suspecting me. Everybody looking at me like I'm the Jarl, because he's gone. He's been gone, like doing other things, and I've been taking care of the whole encampment and the place. So it's like, yeah, I'm the guy. And then you see one of the people who is loyal to my brother, who he's up there, oh, you feeling really good on that throne. And I was like, I gave no indication that I wanted this. And like, they don't give you choices. Like, the choices they give you to say something to him, it's not choices I want to say. Like, I want to say, like, he's not here. What do you want to happen? What do you want me to do?
I want you to give power over to me.
No, he's too stupid. There was a reason why his brother didn't give power to him. I mean, so yeah. Excuse me. But the game, yeah, I'm really liking it, and like I just like traveling around, going around old England, and this is something like I'm thinking like, man, I played a lot of hours in this game, and I haven't gone back to Norway yet. And I feel like I'm going to have to go back there at some point. I'm like, and I'm still haven't finished all of Asgard. Like, I finished one part of the story of Asgard, which I did record some. I might put it in the podcast. I'll see. But I'm like, darn, how big is this goddamn game? Because I can get, like, if the game was at least close to the end, I'll feel like, yeah, I put enough time in it. But damn, this game is... Yes, way too much stuff in there. Because some of this, and I'm not doing all the side quests because some of them are not that great. Now, this game does remind me a lot of The Witcher. It reminds me a lot of The Witcher because of the theme, just like The Witcher, and just the environment is just like what The Witcher looks like. Because Witcher's kind of, that whole European kind of setting and things of that nature. So it does have that Witcher feel to it. And how you go through towns and things of that nature, which is that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's not nowhere near as good as a Witcher, but it's a fine game. Now I don't know if I still haven't come to a decision. I think I still like Odyssey better than this one. I think I like the ship-to-ship battles because Odyssey has. You don't really do ship-to-ship battles in this game. You kind of just you drive your ship. You can shoot from your ship, but because there's not enough space, you're on rivers. You're on rivers, so it's not enough space to do ship-to-ship battles. You kind of land and do raids. So that's their version of the battles. And the raids are fun. The raids are fun. They're fun to do. I do actually enjoy doing that. So I guess that's what compensates for not having the ship-to-ship battle part. Like, that's their thing. And I think I like that a little bit better than Odyssey's. Because Odyssey, I don't like as much as Black Flag. But then again, Odyssey, you don't have cannons. You don't get to shoot arrows. But Odyssey was good. Odyssey was still good for what it was. I still like doing shit. You know what? I take that back. I think I still like the ship-to-ship better than the raids. I don't know, Daniel. I got this. It's hard. It's hard.
They're both good, Dominic. They're both good.
It is. And the raids can be fun. But I think I think I like the strategy of the ship-to-ship battles. And Odyssey, even without having cannons, still did it well. They still did a good job on that. The strategy. It still was similar to what you did in Black Flag. But you know what, Valhalla, it's a good game. I mean, it's a good game overall to me. I just hope the story leads to something great. I will say this, though, that it's good/bad that they do have it that you can be you can be with anybody. Not anybody, but the characters that you can be with, they all seem bisexual, and I think that's good. So it can appeal to players.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's just that it's always like it becomes awkward because when I say like, oh, I don't look at you that way, then there's always that awkward thing. I'm sorry. It's like, God darn, why does everything have to lead to like the bedroom or something, man? Like, I wish there was something that you can diverge from going there. Like, you say, okay, if you pick this one, it's going to go in a way of flirting. If you stay on this path, you're not. Because it gets awkward. It's like, yo, I never looked at you that way. I mean, this ain't just for men. This is for some women, too. I'm like, hey, no, I'm good. It's like, but it also takes it out of the game. Because I wondered, like, especially with the other Jarls, because there was a guy who was saying, like, looking more, like being more than a friend. because we were friends back in the day. But I'm like, would that really happen in Norseman times or anything, or Viking times? Because I'm sure there were probably closeted homosexuals, or maybe openly, I don't know. But I feel like it will be, if you were the Jarl, it will be a closeted thing, because you're going to have a woman you're going to want a child to lead on your legacy.
Nah, that's when you get everybody, Dominic.
So I don't know, but I know people won't agree with that. Like, you're not everybody's going to agree with, like, I think this world is a little too progressive, because I don't think it was that progressive between these people. I'm not saying there weren't things that happened. Like, listen, I never read the history of these people. I don't know as much as I know from school, but I just have a feeling that it's not as progressive as this game makes it out to be. But this is a game, so I guess. But when you have the thing about the history, like, which they supposed to have the DLC coming out of going through history, and like we're trying to be realistic, that's where it gets to be like a little, like, yeah. See, the Greek stuff, that kind of makes sense. That shit happened. We know. Yeah, it's like that shit happened. Here, I'm not saying it didn't happen. It could have. Maybe I look at some history and find something. Now, if they would have did something like, hey, but we can't tell anybody, I said, okay, that makes sense, because, you're going to have to get a wife, because you're going to have to produce children, because you want to keep your legacy going. Yeah. This is just funny how that happens. But see, this all led up to, but you know what? I blame Ubisoft on this, or the developers, or whoever did develop that game, when they did that whole, we didn't do woman because
they fucked up, and now they're trying to overcorrect.
What was their reasoning? Because they didn't have the assets, like enough assets for
something
it, or
like
something.
That. Yeah, it's too hard to animate ladies. They get periods or something.
Is their fault on that? Is their fault for that response, or not even get? I wish they had done that choice, because now they said, well, fuck it, we just got to do everything. We just got to put everything in there and make it right. I mean, it's not horrible, though. It's not like they just throw shit in there and, like, just don't make sense. But it does put the question about certain things. Like, because I want to know. Because I'm like, man, were Norsemen just openly gay? Is that a normal thing? I mean, maybe it was. I don't know. I mean, you should tell me, Dan. That's probably some of your heritage.
No, my 23andMe says I'm from Northern Africa.
Oh. That's it? What else is it?
That's it. Nope, just Northern Africa.
There's Northern Africa.
I'm Egyptian.
Oh, really? Really? How about part gator? You got some gator in you?
Part gator. Maybe.
All right, so what else I played? I played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank, because you let me borrow the Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, which is the first Ratchet and Clank game on the PS3. I did get I got a HDMI switch, so I can.
Does yours work?
Yeah.
Because I got one, and I plugged it in, and it worked in OBS, and then I updated my PlayStation, and now it just says HDCP, and I was very angry about that.
Oh, well, thank you for telling me that. I'm not going to update my PlayStation.
Oh, okay, so yours isn't updated?
No.
Yeah, don't do that then, because I was like, this is great. Now, I did figure out that in the AverMedia software, because I have the AverMedia card for my thing, and that will actually allow it to pass through, which is weird. Like, even without the HDMI splitter.
But you see, I don't know. I use Elgato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know if it will
Elgato.
Unless they have maybe in their like software, but yeah, OBS won't let it through at all.
So OBS won't. And now I'm just scared to update it for Elgato though. So
yeah,
I don't need to, because I'm just playing the old game. So fuck it. And I damn sure don't care about I already beat this game. So I mean, I might can get some new trophies, but I don't really care about trophies.
Right.
So I don't understand how they work. So I don't give a fuck. I don't understand the percentage shit. All right. So I played this. Yeah, I just played like the first stage. And Darren, man, you can see this game was beautiful. I mean, it still looks good. it's just compared to what I've seen, just the new Ratchet and Clank is like, man, this game is equivalent to how I looked at Ratchet and Clank on the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3. I was like, darn, man, that is something. Which is funny because actually it should look a whole lot worse because that's 2 systems ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, I remember people saying, oh man, this is close to Toy Story, the way this game looked. And I was like, man,
of course, now you look back at Toy Story 1 and it kind of looks like trash too.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, it does. It does. I know I can't say that, Daniel.
It's not awful, but it's not Toy Story 3 or even 2 for that matter.
No, it's not. Yeah, you can like you can see it. You can see how it's dated. You definitely can see that how it's dated compared to the newer Pixar movies. But man, it still is better than a lot of other computer animated movies. Or especially like the TV shows too.
Oh yeah.
Not as gonna look good as Reboot though. Not as gonna look as good as Reboot. Look, you see how shiny those people are?
They are the shiniest. They must have all the ray tracing on them.
Yeah. All right. I also played some Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I'm trying to remember what I did in that game. Oh yeah, I went to prison, and I was gone for like 20 years, and now I'm out. And it's like 2019, I guess, in this time. And I am very confused about how to work a smartphone. Well, a lot of things changed because my clan is gone. I mean, my Yakuza group, the Tojo clan, is apparently gone. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But also, yeah, everything's weird. The internet is weird. It's like, yeah, it's pretty cool coming out like a fish out of water. And seeing this world. And it's so bad, like, just like, in the other Yakuza games. Like, when he left prison, he comes back with the same clothes. I'm like, yo, you might want to go shopping, you know? And don't wear clothes that you had on, like, 10 years ago. Because he went to jail, too. I think he went for 10 years, I think, of Kiro. I forget. But, like, this guy's coming with, I mean, the suit's fine. I mean, the suit you see. But I'm just thinking, like, why are you still wearing this? And darn, I guess you kept the same size. So that's good for that you can maintain that same weight.
Or
like,
bad, you could have bulked up.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you didn't even bulk up to be, like, bigger. Like, you could still fit that suit. But yeah, the game is cool. Like, I want to play through this, but, like, I think Assassin's Creed has grabbed me that I want to finish that game. So I'm going to try to focus on that. I just want to get through that game so then I can get to this game and start another game, which I'm trying to decide. Because I have Mass Effect. I have, what else? Ratchet & Clank are playing, but that's not counting that one. It was another game that I have gotten that I was like, I should play this. I forget. Well, maybe I should stay forgetting so I can continue with Mass Effect and then remember. All right. So, yeah. So that is it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. Do you have any questions about any of the games I played?
No.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break while Daniel goes take care of his daughter. And we'll come back with the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. And now we're flashbacking to 20 years. Oh, I'm sorry, not 20 years, 10 years to 2011 in June. So we're going to do from last week because, 2 weeks ago because we didn't do the flashback segment last podcast. So, and I'm also going to just finish the whole month off because by the time we do the next podcast, it will be July.
Nice.
So, starting with Alice Madness Returns was released.
Oh, man.
And it was on Windows, PS3, and Xbox 360. And you played this, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a game I was very excited about because the first one looked so cool to me, but I never really got a chance to play it because my computer could not run it at the time. And then this one came out, like the whole American McGee aesthetic of like dark Alice I thought was cool at the time, and I still do to an extent, but I'm not as edgy as I used to be. But I thought it was a very competent game. I don't think it was spectacular, but it was very good, and I liked what they did with it, especially the look of it, because like aesthetically I really liked it, because what they would do is like each different world was kind of its own theme, and then she would also change dresses between each theme, so she had a variety of different kind of cool looks and whatnot. And the combat was all right for a 3D action kind of game. There were some fun puzzles in there. So, yeah, overall, it was a pretty good game. I enjoyed it.
Okay. And next, we got Child of Eden was released on 360. This is one of those big Kinect games they had showed off. It didn't come on a Kinect's launch, but people were anticipating this. This is the developer from Rez. People used like that. And people said they enjoyed playing this game at like E3 and other conferences. And I never tried it out. I had a Kinect. I never did. I think, was there a demo to this game?
I think there was. I want to say I tried this out in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe I did try it, but I don't remember. Put it like this, I don't remember it. If there was a demo, I don't remember it. Maybe I didn't try it at all. But I heard people did like it. But yeah, and I guess, do you remember? I guess you don't remember either, because you say you think you did.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember of the game itself, it was very similar to Rez, or like even kind of a Panzer Dragoon type thing where you're on a rail and you're kind of shooting things. You were moving your hand around to like lock on to different targets and whatnot, and then you would shoot by like pushing forward or something like that. Or maybe I'm mixing that up with like the Star Wars game or something.
Oh, I thought it wasn't like music based too.
Yeah, there was some aspects of that too.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember. All right, so what else we got here? We got Cubic Ninja. I have no idea what this is. I guess it's a cube ninja. Ninja who's got
since
cubic
we were
features.
talking about the Kinect, I was hoping it was like Fruit Ninja Kinect, but I saw it was for 3DS, so I'm not sure what that is.
No, it actually is a cube ninja.
Ah,
he's a cube, and like he's black with like the the white area where the eyes are. And I'm trying to see video of it. I'm just looking at the cover.
Cubic Ninja. You say that. Let me see if I can pull up the cover here too, because I feel like that's something I probably stocked a decent amount of back in the day.
I don't know. Like you actually move the DS around. Like you have to move them around with the DS. The DS is the whole DS is the controller, and you kind of
maybe I don't know anything.
Move around this maze and avoid these obstacles.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is ninja like. I guess avoiding things, but I thought it'd be like more like they don't see you. I don't know. All right, so we got Duke Nukem Forever. I just feel like we talk about this a lot because of the covers we had. So this game came out, this atrocity that was a bad game. I never did beat it. I did play a lot of it. I did get to the part that where the girls were getting raped by the alien. Like, well, like they were getting impregnated, and then the alien burst out their stomachs. And his line was, "Man, you're getting fucked." And I was like, goodness gracious. I didn't get that much farther than that, though.
Yeah. You were so offended by that you just turned it off. I get you.
Yeah, that's what it was. But the game is not a good game. Yeah. I guess they forcibly put this out, just said, hey, look, we've been working this game forever.
Yeah, let's cut our losses and
just get here and recoup something before we can get some more Borderlands. All right, it's time. All right, what else we got here? We got Outland came out for the PlayStation Network. It came out earlier for the Xbox this year, but that's that. I don't remember even. I might have said it, but that was that side-scrolling action game Was that was just an action game, right? Was it Metroidvania? Like
I think it might have been Metroidvania. It's the one with like the blue and orange.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a Metroidvania, and I didn't realize that at the time. And then when we talked about it later, I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and revisit that thing.
Yeah, I remember playing a demo of it, but I don't remember much. Mm-hmm. It was all right what I played, though, but I just never picked it up.
Yeah.
Also, it's been 10 years since Transformers Dark of the Moon came out.
Oh, man.
I still don't understand that subtitle. Like, I don't understand it. It's like, was Dark Side... Like, that was Dark Side of the Moon?
No, it's in the dark of the moon when the moon covers the sun. It's about eclipses.
But this came out on everything. Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, Nintendo DS, 3DS. I don't know if this one got really great reviews or anything, like, compared to the other Transformer game. Because I think the other Transformer game came out before this, right? The good one?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And then this came out, so it was like, oh, maybe this would be good because they did that. But I didn't really hear great reviews for this one.
I think the reviews were like slightly higher than the previous movie games, but they were not, up to like War for Cybertron or whatever.
Yeah.
You hear that they're doing Beast Wars for the next movie, Dominic?
Yeah, I did saw something of that. So
see how that goes.
I just... Like, what was the whole Bumblebee thing? I guess that's just a prequel and that's it?
I guess, yeah, because that was good. So, like, you're not going to continue with that? I don't know what they're doing. All
right. So, Wipeout in the Zone came out for 360. I want to say it's the Wipeout game, like TV show game.
Sounds right.
But I have no...
Maybe it was
the In the Zone stuff, is that like a sequel? Yeah, maybe. Or yeah, it's a video game. I don't know if it's a sequel, but
yeah, so maybe
it requires a Kinect though.
It requires. Oh wow, that's remember, Dominic. There's a level of dedication to the Kinect there.
Yeah,
good lord.
All right, I'm not going to say these games because I don't care. We got here we go. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time came out for the 3DS. It didn't quite make the launch, but it came out weeks later. And did you have this one?
Yeah, I think I ended up picking it up later, but I did eventually pick it up, and it's good. I mean, it's...
Well, you didn't get the 3DS at launch. I mean,
yeah.
so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it did come out. Yeah. But yeah, it was good. Adding things like the changing your items, like putting on the heavy boots and stuff on the bottom screen, definitely made things a little bit easier, especially like in the water temple and whatnot. But yeah, and the 3DS, the thing you have to say about the 3DS is like the 3D actually did work. Now, it complicates things when you were running higher processing power games and maybe it caused more slowdown or something like that. And there is definitely a level of gimmickry to it, but it did work.
The new 3DS.
Yes, and then it had like eye tracking or whatever, but I never had one of those to see how it was. So I usually, if I did have 3D on, I would usually have it pretty low down just so I got a little bit of depth of field feel to it, but not like full immersion or whatever.
Okay. So next game we got is Alien Zombie Megadeth, which I am trying to look up now what this game is.
Megadeth.
And I'm looking at a trailer, and it looks like a side-scrolling guy in some type of spacesuit shooting things.
Mm-hmm.
Rescue space babies. That's what it even said.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure, is this the right game? Because that's what it says on the trailer here. This IGN. And, yeah. Alien Zombie Megadeth. Well, I guess they're alien zombies. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. I have no idea if this is a good game or not, because I was looking at the YouTube. So, I see 8 out of 10 on Steam, 77% on Metacritic. So,
wow.
And IGN gave it 8.5. So
not what I was expecting
actually
to hear from that.
Yeah, actually pretty good game. Developer is Pom Pom Games. And the publisher is Pom Pom Games also. All right. So, what we got here? We got Cars 2. It's been 10 years of Cars. So, Cars 2 came out, and it came on everything also. But including the PSP. See, I didn't see Transformers being on PSP.
Yeah.
But Cars 2 was on the PSP. All right, so we got Dual Pen Sports for the 3DS. I'm guessing it's something with the stylus you do with the pen and you play sports games. I'm not going to bother looking it up. All right. Dungeon Siege 3 came out for the 360 and PS3. And it's got, I believe, mixed reviews. Like, I don't think it was, like, high, but I think it was, like, maybe around the 70s or something like that. I remember seeing Dungeon Siege game, which is basically like an action role-playing game, but with multiple people. Almost similar to Diablo-esque. So, but not in the isometric view. I believe it's more, I don't think it was isometric view. I think it was more 3D. Like third-person view. I'm trying to think, because I played the demo of this. Because it was on Xbox, a demo. Or maybe you could change the camera. Because I see isometric view, but I also see close-up. So maybe it's one of those games you can change the camera to get closer up, too. But yeah, it's one of those type of games. All right. So what else we got? We got Shadows of the Damned. This is a game I never played, but heard some decent things about it.
Yeah, there's pretty positive buzz around that.
Yeah, like absurd stuff. Like a talking gun.
Yeah. And
a lot of dick jokes. I think there's a lot of dick jokes in this one. In this game. I think that's what I really remember hearing about. Yeah. I really thought this was like a game that was going to be on the end caps of stores or something nice, like a cheap game. And then I just heard people talking about it. I was like, oh, this game actually sounds pretty good. But I never did. I think I had games in GameFly at the time. I just never. I think I might have had on my list. I just never got to it. What else we got? I'm going to skip these two. We got Beyond Gun Evil HD. Came on the PlayStation Network. I must have gained more on the Xbox maybe earlier or so. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3 came out. I did play this. Gameplay-wise is alright. Story-wise, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. What else we got here? Resident Evil The Mercenaries 3D came out.
Ooh, there you go. My least favorite part of the Resident Evil 4 stuff. But in 3D!
I think I played this. Oh yeah, I played it like Resident Evil 5 version of Mercenaries. That's the only thing I ever played. I never played this one. I don't know how this got reviewed on the 3DS. You remember?
I don't think it got particularly great reviews. I think it was probably like 7s, somewhere in there.
All right, Sniper Ghost Warrior came out to PS3. One of the sniper games. We got Backbreaker Vengeance. I remember this game. I remember.
Is that the sequel to the original Backbreaker football game?
Backbreaker Vengeance. Yeah, it is.
Or maybe it was the thing that came out before Backbreaker came out. That was like a demo-y kind of thing, maybe?
It may show in the gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm not. It says Xbox Live Arcade, so maybe they had like a smaller version, a cheaper version of it, since they probably didn't sell that well going like the full game.
350 waves in 70 unique challenges, split screen 2-player and AI multiplayer, euphoria fueled dynamic motion. That's just like a spit up of words. I thought it was actually going to tell me like what this specifically was.
I'm just saying that Euphoria, did that catch on? Did anybody else use it?
I don't think so. Which is funny because like that was the whole thing about that game was like, oh, look at this thing.
All right, Half Minute Hero came out for the 360. Super Mega Neo Climax.
Oh my.
Yeah, get that Neo Climax, man. Oh, Galaxy Allegiance DX came out for the Xbox Live Arcade also. All right, which is a Galaga game. It was like the, old arcade space shooting game. Just probably
they updated graphics and stuff.
The more modern version.
Yeah.
Like more hip version, like Pac-Man DX. Yeah. Now, we'll go back to 20 years, to 2001. And we got one of my all-time favorite PS2 games, Twisted Metal Black. Like, this was so awesome. Now, like, at first I wasn't going to, I knew Twisted Metal Black was coming out, but I didn't know nothing about it. And then I read it in a magazine. I believe it was Game Informer, and it was talking about how dark it was and how gruesome and stuff was. I said, damn, man. I said, like, what the hell is this? And, like, somebody said, like, this is almost like what's that movie called? It's the Seven. Say, man, it's like got some Seven vibes to this. I say, damn, what the fuck? I said, I thought we just it's just a destruction derby and shit. Yeah. What the fuck is talking about some Seven vibes? So then I borrowed the game for Blockbuster to try it out. I saw the game, got like a $9. Game before I gave it a 9, so I said, let me go try this out at Blockbuster. And like the cutscenes, man, they were freaking gruesome. I mean, it traumatized me a little bit in a good way. No. Like it got me. Like it was like one guy telling a story of how he was in Vietnam, and he got stuck. Him and his buddy, they fell in a trap. They were stuck, and then his buddy died first. And he had nothing to eat, so he ate his buddy. That's how he became a cannibal. Then Sweet Tooth he's just a killer. He's just a murderer and shit like that. Then you have the woman who was a doll face, who cut the faces of people or something like that. And there was another woman who was like, she got stood up at a wedding, and I think she wanted to get back at her lover. I think her lover killed her or something. Oh, wow. Or tried to kill her. I don't know. It was something weird. But I know that they all asked Calypso for something. Calypso is the guy who runs the whole show. And so Calypso offers to give him something at the end. And like the endings, I'm trying to think what was a good ending. I can't really remember. Like who had it? Like it was like a happy ending. Like these endings were like, yeah, man, they were little.
There's always deadly. Like monkey paw-less thing, right? Like I'm going to give you what you want, but I'm going to...
Oh, no. Well, actually, no.
No?
Not for some of them. Like, each one is different. Okay. Now, I remember Sweet Tooth, he killed Calypso and took over.
Oh.
And some people got what they wanted, and like you said, it was a monkey paw thing. Because, like, the woman who wanted a husband, the man she always dreamed of something, he put something in his brain to force him to do what she want. And he was like, I will never love you, like even though, and then she got so upset and killed him, and then she said like, now I'm going to find me another groom or something. And I was like, oh, so she's gonna go out probably killing some more men or something. And then I think maybe some of them did have a happy ending, but they were just dark. These are some dark shit, like, or they got something for them they could go get revenge or something like that. Like the guy, he got revenge for the guy that trapped him in that hole for Vietnam, the cannibal, and he ate him. Wow. So that game was dark, but it was But now see, that's just the story stuff. The gameplay was fun as hell. I used to love it. Like it was one where you was on a boat, you were battling people, but the boat is moving and it crashes into a prison, and then you're in the prison. And then you're shooting around. And I remember them describing this when I was reading a magazine. I was like, God, can they really do that? I said, I gotta see this. And it didn't really happen that way. And I was like, because I can imagine like all that stuff just happening around you while you're doing the car racing and things of that nature. Like having the levels be alive. And then you had one where you was in like a town that had, I guess either a carnival or something, or a fair was in town. I don't know. But like you can shoot the Ferris wheel and then that'll come spinning and that can come rolling down in town, busting through buildings and slamming on cars if you get in the way. That was, it's a lot of the environments. Yeah, they had something that can be destructible and it will do something. Like, and I remember bringing that game over to my friend because I ended up getting it later on when it was like $20. I bought it myself. See, that's when look, a game was out for a year, $20, like PlayStation's greatest hits. It was gonna be $20, and like that's why I always anticipate. It's like, you know what? If I don't get it this year, I'll get it next year, $20, and that's how it always was. Because that's PlayStation 2 was like the best selling console. That all the games got million sellers, like a lot of the big games, and that is we did go down to 20 because that's what they did. They said, hey, when a game sells 1 million, it goes out to 20. I was like, and then that's what I always just thought would happen. And then we got to a new age when games didn't want to do that. I mean, they go down in price, but it's like up and down. Like, it's not really consistent.
Yeah, it's not a set thing, because that's what the thing about like Player's Choice or whatever the Xbox One was, or Yeah, it was like, now this game is sold this arbitrary number, and it's always going to be $19.99 base.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a sale. That's the price of the game. So, yeah, that's when I got in. I took it to my friend's place. We used to play split screen together on that. Yeah, it was awesome. I think it was co-op. I think we actually played together in that. So yeah, that game was cool. All right, another game came out. Time Crisis Project Titan came on the PlayStation 1. That's a Time Crisis game. That's one of those rail shooters where you have the gun con, I think that was called, that they sell. What else we got here? We got Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Ball came out for Windows. That is a RPG, a Western RPG, kind of with the Dungeons and Dragon rules set. Like, very famous game. Baldur's Gate is a big game, and this might be I wanted to know if this is an expansion, because was Baldur's Gate 2 always a subtitle or what? I don't remember.
No, yeah, this was an expansion for Baldur's Gate 2. That one did have a subtitle though. It was Shadows of Amn.
Oh, okay. Oh, look, Operation Flashpoint, Cold War Crisis came out for the Windows. I'm guessing this is one of those military shooters.
Yeah, except it was the Cold War, so there wasn't a lot of shooting. It's just sitting at a desk going, I'm nervous.
Threatening to shoot.
Exactly.
Threatening. It's like Sonic Adventures 2 came out for what would that be? The 20th anniversary of Sonic.
Yep.
On the Dreamcast. Yes. What?
I never played it on the Dreamcast, but I was very excited when Sega had finally folded, and I was like, we're getting a Sonic game on the GameCube, and this game came out, and I convinced myself that I liked it a lot, but that game definitely was not
you had
good.
this game?
I don't think I bought it. I want to say I rented it or something.
Oh, okay.
I might have it, though. I'll have to look through my GameCube box. Those games are actually kind of together.
Sonic Adventures, like, I don't know when I played it. I think I was, like, really just like, oh, man. It's like, I thought it was going to come to PlayStation. So why did they choose GameCube?
Yeah.
And now that I know what the game is, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, these are not my Sonic games. I'm like, this
especially this one, because, like, it went into the other characters, too. Like, you were Knuckles, and in the Knuckles levels, you had to do, like, not a hide and seek, but like a search for the Chaos Emeralds.
What about the Shadow? I thought the big thing was Shadow the Hedgehog.
Whoa. Was Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was on the cover.
Oh, yeah. What did he do in there? I don't remember what he did at all. Yeah, I don't remember him at all. Fuck Shadow.
Did you play Sonic Adventure 2, Daniel?
Maybe I'm thinking of a different one, but I definitely, because wasn't Rouge the Bat in this one too?
I never played the game. I never played 2. I only played a little bit of 1.
Because like oh yeah, because it was like he just had Sonic style levels. Because what it was like there was the Sonic people and then there was the Shadow people. And like Sonic and Shadow would have equivalent levels, and then Dr. Robotnik, or not Dr. Robotnik. Well, yeah, Dr. Robotnik and Tails would have similar levels. They were both like in machines for some reason. I don't know why you'd have a fucking fox with 2 tails and you put him into a machine, but he was like a mech. And then
he was tired.
Maybe. And then you had Knuckles and Rouge, and they were both like, you gotta find the things around the level. Like it was basically like an arena, and you had to like jump and climb walls and stuff to find the things hidden around it. It was stupid.
All right. So what else we got here? I'm not going to say this game. We got Bomberman Tournament. Came out for the Game Boy Advance. We also got, oh, yes, I remember this game. Final Fantasy Chronicles, which was Final Fantasy 5 and 6. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember. No, this is Chronicles was 4 and Chrono Trigger, right?
Yep.
Yes, because that was Anthology. All right. Yes, because I never played Anthology, but I played this one because my friend got it because he really wanted to play Chrono Trigger because he kept saying, because I think he played some of it on the emulator. He said, yo, this is the best RPG, and this one was kind of like, I guess, there was no such thing as HD, so better version of that.
Yeah.
Because it actually had anime cutscenes. And it was cool. The anime cutscenes were good. And the Final Fantasy IV had special cutscenes too. They didn't look as good. They weren't anime. They were kind of CG-ish. But I played a lot of 4. But then I started playing Chrono Trigger, and I really loved Chrono Trigger. I was like, wow, this game is awesome. And then my friend kept saying he want his game back. I said, well, I guess I have to play it on the emulator then.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And I'm playing 4 and Chrono Trigger through the emulator since I couldn't play on the PlayStation 1. But this was probably like one of the I think I like this one better. Well, no, I can't say that because I haven't played 5 or Final Fantasy 5 or Final Fantasy 6. I can't say this is better than those. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy going back to these games. The old school Final Fantasy, it was cool. 4, I know people like it. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just a little... It's old. I mean, because it's traditional. It's all right, but it's not... Like, the story is pretty plain. It's not great. But Chrono Trigger, yo, god damn, man, that was a great game.
Did they ever explain how it's related to Final Fantasy?
What, Chrono Trigger?
Yeah.
It's not. They just put it there.
Why
I have no idea why it's part of that. They just put it with it.
Yeah. That's so weird. Like, call it the Final
It's
Fantasy
related because it's made by Squaresoft, Daniel. That's why I was related.
I guess, but... Then call it the Squaresoft Chronicles. Don't call it the Final Fantasy Chronicles.
Because Final Fantasy is the name. That name, man. That's why.
Thank God.
All right. So what else we got here? We got Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. Now, this came out also for the Game Boy Color I got down here. I want to know what the Game Boy Color version is. Because that'll be the version I play because I probably won't be scared as much. But this is like the 4th installment of the Alone in the Dark, but it was a reboot of it. They started it again. I guess they had the first 3 was like a trilogy. Then they want to start over again. Then I think they rebooted it again, even after this one, like Alone in the Dark. I never played none of the games though. The Game Boy one, it's like an isometric view.
Yeah, I am very impressed by these graphics on a Game Boy Color. It looks almost like Resident Evil. Like it's
Resident Evil for the Game Boy Color?
No, like Resident Evil on the PlayStation. I mean, it doesn't look as good as that, obviously, but like
the ones I'm looking at, it's like an isometric view. It don't look like that. It don't look like what you're saying.
This is what I'm saying here. I'm gonna send you a link.
Now I see what you're saying. You're saying, but maybe they got different looks for the game. Yeah, I think it all depends where you go in the, the game. Because the one I'm looking at look like Nintendo.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
see, like
the
when he's
graphics
shooting,
are definitely rough, but like,
look
it's impressive.
Look at the YouTube video of it.
Oh, here now I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's
like it's certain parts. It's certain parts that are. Yeah, and it changes.
They're like, we couldn't do this many pre-rendered backgrounds, so just areas.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so weird. Yeah, because this is far less impressive.
It is. It's still impressive that they even did this.
Yeah.
I don't know how this game got rated or anything, but just technology-wise, look, because somebody said, like, look at the technological marvel of the GBC. Now, I don't know if this guy's being sarcastic, because I'm thinking, like, I didn't think it could do this.
Yeah, me neither. That's why, especially that first part that I was looking at, I'm like, holy crap, how did they do this?
But definitely, this game, I would not be scared of much. So I think this will probably be the version I would have to play. All right. So, what else we got here, Dan? We got Arabian Nights. This is before the new Prince of Persia game that came on all the consoles and the PC. This was what I think Prince of Persia looked at this game and realized we cannot be shit like this game.
I feel like I remember playing like a demo for this because it was on one of those discs that you buy that has like 1 million games or something on it. And 99% of them turn out to just be demos or freeware. I don't remember anything.
But this game did I get good reviews from what I looked at.
Yeah.
But this is what people were hoping for. It's like, we won a Prince of Persia 3D game. It's got to play Arabian Nights.
And then we got Prince of Persia 3D.
Yep.
And then we finally got a good one.
All right, we got the Lara Croft Tomb Raider game. Curse of the Sword came out for the Game Boy Color. I didn't look this up to see what it looks like or if we got even good reviews or anything.
I'm going to say that's probably a side-scrolling one. I remember maybe checking that out on the emulators.
Because there was two of them. There was two Lara Croft games. The other one was just called Tomb Raider, I think. And this one, it's a side-scrolling game.
How big are eyes look?
Well, 87% of Google users liked it.
I was one of them. I was like, this is great. I love playing this on the emulator.
On Game Rankings, it got 76% of Game Rankings.
Because nobody had any standards for a Game Boy Color game back in the day, down.
All right. So what else we got here, Dan? We got... I always said that one. I don't care about that game. I don't know. I put it up here for a reason, so I should care about it. Okay. Knox?
Maybe because it's IDOS and Ion Storm?
Yeah, I think that's why. And it's maybe it's a Russian RPG? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Let me see what my Google says. Anachronox. It is on Steam. In 86% favorable. Yeah, it looks like, what do we see here? You join Sylvester Slyboots and Stiletto anyway, is that their fucking names?
Somebody's got a foot fetish.
As they trek across 6 bizarre planets, investigating a galaxy-crushing mystery.
This is Mass Effect, Dominic.
Artifacts from extinct alien race and unlocking the secrets of a powerful advanced technology.
Yep.
It's your turn. Pick your poison.
This is Mass Effect.
Okay.
You gotta go back and play this.
It's cyberpunk. It's comedy. It has sci-fi. This is just the tags up here that people put up there.
Did they tag it with foot fetish or Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, it looks like a RPG, like a Western RPG, like a sci-fi RPG. Yeah, this is definitely Mass Effect before Mass Effect.
Maybe some Deus Ex mixed in there.
You got the black person with the braids. Yep, that's how they do in these games.
That's what the future looks like, Dominic. That's what the Matrix said too.
Yeah, the Matrix glasses. The black person with braids with Matrix glasses. That is whatchamacallit, Jada Pinkett Smith from the Matrix. All right, so what else we got here? We got War Jets, and this was on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. And you are in a jet committing war.
Committing war.
I did actually look at the video. It got horrible reviews for this game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it looks horrible. So, yeah. That's War Jets. That's all I can say. Yeah, you are in a plane and you're just shooting shit. All right. Also, Bloody War 3 came out.
Oh, yeah.
20 years ago. And I played this game because a friend of mine's in high school. Well, I'm not gonna call him a friend. An associate of mine's in high school. Let me borrow this game, and it was all right. It was an all right game. I didn't like it as much as the other Bloody Wars though. I was for the PlayStation 2. I thought it was gonna be better graphics,
right?
And it wasn't. It was good. It was better, but it wasn't great. Because I was thinking man, this should look like Dead or Alive or something. I was like, why doesn't it look like Dead or Alive or Tekken? It looks all right. And I forget, Activision did Bloody War.
Oh, yeah. Man, stop making Call of Duty games and give us a new Bloody War.
But I think it was a Japanese developer, maybe? Where's Hudson at?
Hudson's Japanese, yeah. They're the Bomberman guys.
I don't think Activision does anything with the Japanese.
No.
Anymore.
I don't know that Hudson's doing anything anymore.
Oh, I don't think so. I think there's something else. That's the Bumblebee, right?
Yeah. Oh, defunct in 2012. Yeah,
that's what Hudson means.
It
means Bumblebee in Japanais.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Startopia is a simulation, like a Sims-like space station game. You got a space station, and you're basically almost like a Sim City-like.
Okay.
and you're kind of taking care of it, and like maybe it's like Star Trek Deep Space Nine thing. Like you can imagine that. like you're hey, I'm managing Deep Space Nine, and they got decent reviews. They got pretty good reviews. I forgot what I saw on Metacritic. It was all right. And I looked on. It's still available. You can buy it on GOG, and I think what's the Steam I looked at, and people were saying, hey, this game still holds up pretty well, like for a good strategy game, a good Sims-like game. Yeah, so that's cool. That's one good thing about Steam and GOG, keeping these old games like alive. All right, so what's the next game? Because I am away from
next game. Well, you have some events after that. 1996.
Okay, so we're finished. We're finished with 20 years ago. So we're going back 25 years ago to 1996. The Ultra 64 becomes the Nintendo 64 console and is released in Japan 25 years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Should have kept Ultra 64. They didn't use the Ultra 64 name now. Like you had Nintendo, you had Super Nintendo, and then you had Ultra. Although it should have been Ultra Nintendo 64.
The Ultra Nintendo. And they had to stop because there's nothing better than Ultra.
There's nothing better.
All right, and the games that came out, Pilot Wings 64 and Super Mario 64. Yeah. As we all know, Pilot Wings 64 became the best 64 game they ever released.
I always wanted it because it was the only other game out at the time, but I never even played it.
I mean, for us, it was quite a few games, but they were sorry.
Yeah.
I played Pilot 64 I got it from Blockbuster.
Oh, okay.
And I tried it out. It had some good music.
Huh.
Like I remember my dad saying, like, these games have some good music. It's like, because he was saying, like, it was like really jazzy, like. And I would just remember flying around. That's all I did. I was very bored. But maybe I will like it more now. Maybe I will like this game more now. Like, I would appreciate it more if I was 36-year-old back in 1996. Right. Maybe I will like it. Yeah, I will like it more.
Because now you'd just be like, it looks like trash.
Yeah. I say, this shit is like shit. What the hell? It's all blurry. I don't know what the hell I'm flying. Where am I flying to? It's like, all right. So what else came out here? We got SimCity 2000, the Network Edition. We're going online, baby.
Oh boy,
you're going online. I don't understand. I guess you can play against people in the Network Edition. I don't know how SimCity works in multiplayer.
You gotta build a better city. You build two cities next to each other, and you make sure all your pollution goes to the other player's city.
All right, so we also got a game called Fade to Black on the PlayStation.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know why I put this up here. I must have put it up here for a reason. All right, it looks like an action game and action-adventure game from Electronic Arts. Then they bring this game back, Daniel.
I'm sure.
And it looks like on one cover, looks like a monster. Another cover, it's a dude in a yellow jacket.
That is quite the monster, too, Dom.
I guess he's the enemy.
It's like they took that guy straight out of the video game, too. They didn't even try and fancy him up and make him look like...
Daniel, and I think they based this monster off of the original Star Trek monster that fought against Captain Kirk.
It does look like that.
In that rubber suit.
Yep. Looks like if somebody made that guy from the rubber suit into a really low poly model. It's Fade to Black, the first game with cover mechanics or something. It looks like he's shooting around a corner.
Anarchy Online came out 20 years ago. And actually it has it for this date, the 26th.
Oh.
And this game was a MMORPG that really had some problems when it first came out. Like bugs, server issues, and it got a bad score from people. And the guys that continue to work on it, and they try to get back to the critics, like tell them to play it again. They did play it again. People say they liked it better, but they didn't change the score. But I think PC Gamer still gave it like Game of the Year for that year. Because, I mean, the game turned out to be pretty good.
We gave it a 3, but it's Game of the Year.
Yeah. So like with the updates they did with the game, it worked out for them. And to this day, this game is still being updated. Now, I think it's probably, I don't know if it's by the same company or fans, but it lasted for a while. This game has lasted, and it's still out there today. And it looked like a sci-fi type of game, like a sci-fi world. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to the website. It's here. You can play for free. It's play for free now. It looks like a sci-fi explored, like, the universe stuff before Star Wars.
The MMO Hall of Fame, according to their website.
And it probably deservedly so. I mean, to last this long.
It is impressive. 20 years of exquisite world design.
It looks all right. I mean, you can tell it looks dated, but for the time, like, this game looks gorgeous. I mean, they updated. They have done engine updates.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Since.
It's pretty cool, because I remember Anarchy Online from back in the day, watching like G4 TV and stuff, and now for it to, still exist, I would have never known, would have never guessed.
Yeah, there must be that many people in the world to keep some of these games going that I'd be thinking, because sometimes I'd be thinking, like, it's not enough people in the world to keep these games going. Somebody has to go. But apparently, I don't know how.
Yep.
All right, so now we're going back 30 years. 30 years ago, this little game came out in Japan. And the reason why I mention this game is because I got this game when it came in America for my Sega Genesis. Marvel Land.
Oh, so it's got like Spider-Man and Wolverine and stuff?
No, you are some dude in some type of Roman garb. And, like, it's like an amusement park. Like, that's why I got it, because it was like the roller coasters
like
and
Arrow the Acrobat.
Things you would see in, like, Disney World or, like, Six Flags or something.
Uh-huh.
Or at that time, for me, it was Wildlands that back then. That's what the music called, before Adventureland. All right. Yeah, before Tal Ripken took over. All right. But yeah, Marvel Land, I tried to look for my cover. My cover, it was the yellow cover. The game was made by Namco. It had the official Genesis seal of quality. Ooh. So I knew this game was going to be great, Daniel. I was like, it's no way. Oh, okay, he got like dragon ears too.
Yeah.
This guy.
And horns. And he's like trying to kidnap Princess Peach or something.
And like they got their version of Bowser, which is like a dog. Or wolf or something.
He looks like a dog mixed with Shredder.
yeah. And I remember looking at the back of the box, and I'm looking at the back of the box. That's what I saw. Like, I was like, oh, it's like event, like music park stuff. And playing the game, I didn't get that far in the game because it got hard.
Yeah.
For me, for the little kid in me. I was like, how old was I? Probably in second grade, maybe, when I got this game. But yeah, I'm looking at. Oh my god, look at the cartridge. Yes. Man, this game looks so... I can't believe I got this game now. Like, think about it. Like, I would never get this game.
I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing, like, some places it's called Talmud's Adventure. Oh, it looks like that's Australia, where it's called that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because even the Japanese one, I think, even has Marvel Land.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the Japanese culture, Daniel, that they have English words with the Japanese words.
That's how multicultural they are, Dominic.
Did we force that upon them?
Yep.
Was that part of the deal of World
War II?
It
was, yes. It's part of the Accords.
And I don't like the Mega Drive cover because it has Mega Drive up there. I do not. I am tired of seeing that, Daniel. I'm like, that ain't no Mega Drive. It's a Genesis. A Mega Drive. Get the hell out of here. All right. So that is it for the flashback segment. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we get into the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. Let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So the news is finally out. Tekken versus Street Fighter is no longer in active development.
No!
Yeah, it was confirmed by Harada. It's no longer being worked on. Now, we got Street Fighter versus Tekken. That wasn't very well received. Now we've got Tekken and Street Fighter characters in Smash Brothers. Do we really need a Tekken versus Street Fighter?
Do we need it? I mean, no, but
do we need
we
anything?
don't need games, video games. So,
of course. The kind of sad thing about it is like they put Akuma into Tekken and he actually worked out pretty well. So like they had a proof of concept. Like it could have been a cool thing. And like Street Fighter versus Tekken was kind of bogged down by like gems and stuff that they had. I remember there being like weird systems in place that like made things more complicated than they needed to be. But yeah, it kind of sucks because it was like, oh, they're doing this cool thing. Like, we'll finally get that. Maybe one day we'll even get Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat or something. Not really, but at least we got DC versus Mortal Kombat, I guess. But yeah, that's no longer a thing, Dominic. So mark that off your calendar. You don't have to have that.
Damn, what was that news? I felt like that was like over a decade ago.
Yeah. Oh, it was announced in 2010. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
11 years. That's rough. Yeah.
I remember hearing about that news and I was thinking like, man, I want to know what would it look like. And then when I saw Street Fighter Tekken come out, I was like, okay. I mean, yeah, it didn't get well received, but just the look of it was like, okay, I see how they worked it to Street Fighter. The look wasn't great, but it was all right.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking like seeing Street Fighter with the Tekken. Like
seeing
being
those guys
full 3D.
in 3D models, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So, we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll revisit it one day, but it's no longer in active development. It sounds like they got about 30% into making that game, and then
things kind of fell
apart. You get concept art, and that's it. So much closer to being done. All right, Dominic. We also got a release date for Aliens Fireteam. That's that multiplayer-looking game that looks pretty cool, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far.
Yeah. Have they shown anything else since the announcement?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I saw that stuff that IGN did. They did like a gameplay thing with the developer.
Darn, it launches 24th? I'm sorry, you didn't get to that.
Yep, August 24th, so not that far away.
Yeah. Do they have another video out?
They've got to be doing something. They're probably doing like constant updates and we just aren't following it. Let's see. Aliens Fireteam. See what they got on their website. It's amazing now that like even over games' own websites, you get like the Steam link before anything else. And this, I'm getting an Engadget link. Maybe they don't even have a website, Dominic. I don't know. Just go to their YouTube page and say.
I'm looking at the Steam video. It looks like I think that's the same video.
One. Yeah.
Seen before. This game is only $40 on Steam.
That's good. That seems promising then. Oh yeah, look, maybe there was a release date trailer, looks like. I'm going to give this guy a view, Dominic, who just reposted.
This is new.
Not really showing much here, but yeah, like from that gameplay video on IGN, seems like a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I
forgot about this. I totally forgot about this,
Dominic. Another Left 4 Dead-ish horde mode type thing. All right. After that, Dominic, we have the celebration of 30 years of Sonic with his inclusion in Minecraft. And this is actually pretty cool because it's not just skins. There's a whole bunch of like activities and whatnot in there.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked cool. Like they got the loops, man.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the best Sonic thing since Sonic Mania, which, by the way, as of this recording, is free currently on the Epic Store. Unfortunately, not the Plus version with those 2 extra characters that look stupid, but the original version. So if you haven't played Sonic Mania, they're kind of stupid.
That's Sonic baby. That's his baby with tails and his baby with knuckles.
Yes, it is. Just interspecies loving. Yeah, so get that if you don't have it. But yeah, this looks cool and it's free. So if you're a Minecraft player and also like Sonic, definitely check that out. It's cool. Like they just have stuff that looks like Sonic Adventure,
but
like maybe good.
Free on Xbox? Oh, you have to buy that. That's not on Game Pass,
I don't think it's on Game Pass. I do not think it is. I think they're smarter than that, Dominic.
Yeah.
Even though really it should be. But maybe they're not, Dominic. Play with Xbox Game Pass, Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Time to fall
might
down the
download that,
Minecraft
try that out.
Dominic.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. After that, Dominic, we got some news for you. There are a whole bunch of Trails games coming.
Yes.
Somewhat far away though. So
you want me to continue this?
Yeah, sure. Tell me more about this.
So the Trails, they're releasing some Trails games. The games that I played earlier in the, well, actually, I think I played one earlier this year. I finished it earlier this year, and I was playing most of the last summer. They are releasing those two games in the next 2 years. They got The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero, which deals with the city of Crossbell, the game I played on the PSP. They originally came on the PSP. Mm-hmm. And eventually it came with like an HD version to the PC in Japan. And some people do have it, like they translated it and have it so people can play it over here also. But I ended up playing just the PSP version translated. And they're releasing this game on the Switch and the PS4 and the PC in the fall of 2022.
Goodness.
It originally came out in Japan in 2010. And then you have The Legend of Heroes Trails of Azure, which is the sequel to Trails of Zero, still dealing with the same classic characters. Mm-hmm. And also releasing on all those systems. All these games I'm about to mention is going to release in the PS4, PC, and the Switch. And that's going to release in 2023, though. So 2 years from now. And I'm just wondering, like, why taking so long to just translate? Like, what is the holdup? Or are they doing more to this game?
Also, why are you releasing a PS4 game in 2023?
Oh, yeah, that is a good question. or Switch. It should be the new Switch. The Switch Pro game. It's exactly. Like, I mean, it's going to work.
Exclusive.
We're assuming
these translations can only run on the Switch Pro.
Yeah. You got to play it in Japanese on the Switch. But, yeah, that is weird because, well, you know what, Daniel? That's not that weird because they were doing this on the PS3.
That is true. You're not wrong there. This is just their MO right here. Yeah.
They released a lot of those Japanese RPGs on the PS3 when the PS4 was out for some years. And not just the Trails games, they were some of the other NIS games they had. I forgot what the name of it was. But yeah. So this is what they do. So eventually, listen, they're going to do it. They're going to put a PS5 version out. And you got to buy that shit again. There ain't going to be no free upgrade. Because I don't think they didn't do that for the PS4.
No, they didn't.
So now there's a new game. These two new games, like newish, I should say. Because I never heard of them. They're new to me. The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails. It originally released in Japan in 2012. And this game, I don't know where it takes place, but you play as Rain, and he was a main character. Yeah, okay, I was right. Yeah, you play as Rain Schwarzer and Lloyd Bannings. Lloyd was the main character in the Trails of Zero and Trails of Azure, which I just mentioned before. And Rain Schwarzer is the main character in the Trails of Cold Steel. And then you also play a guy known as C, who is a villain in the Trails of Cold Steel series, at least the first two games. Mm-hmm. I never heard this game, so this is very different. I guess I don't know if this is a sequel or a prequel to Trails of Cold Steel, or maybe an in-betweener, because it's like 4 Trails of Cold Steel. Trails of Cold Steel, so it could be like in between the timelines. Because that's how the first two games I mentioned are. They're kind of in between the timelines of Trails of Cold Steel, like 1 and 2. They're not directly prequels to it. Like, this is like a whole universe, man. Like, if you want to play the game in order, they probably tell you like, hey, you play this game, then this game, and like things will equal up. Like you will connect the stories, or just play it like when they're released and just be like, oh yeah, I remember that. But yeah, I never heard of this game, so I'm kind of anticipating this game, but really I'm not, because it's 2023, which is like just so far out that I'm like, oh, who gives a fuck?
I'll forget about it until it comes back up.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? I was wrong, because I'm looking at it in the order of the way you put it up here. Darn. My fault. The game I was describing was Trails of Reverie. I'm sorry. Reverie. Which is... That's what that game is.
Because Boundless Trails is coming out last, right?
Yeah, I mean, they both are coming in 2023.
Right, but we don't know exactly when.
We don't know when. We don't know when they're... Yeah, we just don't know when. I guess we're just assuming that's the last of the series. But this one came out in 2012. Boundless Trails came out in 2012. And PSP. Reverie came out in 2020.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, maybe there is logic to that. Maybe there is a like timeline thing with this.
Or it's just like disconnected enough that they're like, oh, you don't need to play this one to do this one or something like that.
And this one is like they say your players are trekking through multiple worlds to save the world. Yeah, that's not really a great description. I don't know what you do in this game. So I have no idea what that game's about. But those are the two games. The last two are the ones I'm really looking forward to, because I never even heard of them, and so those are the ones I want to play. I still got 2 more Trails games to play. Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4. But I'm going to play 2, because I want to play 2 again. So I got plenty of time. There's plenty of things to do before these games come out.
Plenty of
But it's cool that people actually can get their hands on them.
Definitely.
Without doing anything illegal. They can get their hands on these games to finally play them. It's just darn. I don't. Maybe localization doesn't take that long, which I don't think it takes that long. I just think that this company, probably maybe the staff is just,
they're lazy.
It's not big enough staff to do that, and that's the problem. And I wish there was a bigger staff. Then I wish there was.
Or I wish people have to buy these games.
I wish they would crunch. Yeah, I said it. Crunch them to death.
You're never going to get any of these games ever again, because all those poor people are going to die.
But yeah, it's cool, because there's a lot of new people who just got into the series because of Cold Steel, and now they can finally play them. And now, you know what? Technically, they didn't put Trails in the Sky on the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Yet. So really, I really think that, because that's my favorite, like, as far as story, that's the best one so far for me. Not counting the ones I didn't play. But so far, the ones I played, that's the best story. I think they need to bring that out to the Switch. And that should be easy, because that's always translated.
Right. 2024, Dominic.
The Switch and PS4 to all the consoles, really. Like, stop. They ain't playing on Xbox.
Nope.
Oh, what? Or when they do play on Xbox, it's going to be one of the obscure ones. And you ain't going to know what the fuck is going on. It's going to be like one of them.
Kingdom Hearts just burned you too bad, didn't it, Dominic?
I know. They put it on Xbox, but when I'm already done with it. Like, come the fuck on. All right, man. So what else we got, man?
All right, Dominic. You thought you could escape him when he fell out of the playoffs. But no, LeBron is back, and he's back with a video game, Dominic. Space Jam: A New Legacy, the video game, is coming out July 1st as an exclusive for Game Pass. And then a couple weeks later, July 15th, coming as just a free game. This actually looks pretty cool. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up starring LeBron James and his Toon Squad pals, Bugs and Lola Bunny. What do you think? Did you see the trailer for this?
I did not.
It looks pretty good.
I didn't know about this game.
It looks pretty good. It doesn't quite remind me of Scott Pilgrim, but it's got a cool art style to it. And I think outside of LeBron,
this game I'm not going to ever play because LeBron James is in it.
Only thing is, like, it it didn't say anywhere. Like, I looked actively for this information, and I didn't see how many players it was. Now, I saw 3 on screen at one time, so I think it's at least 3-player co-op. But I don't know that it's online. I think it might not be, because one of the guys that's on the development team is on a podcast that I listen to, and he was talking about testing it through the Steam like couch play or whatever that thing's called, where you can basically make any couch co-op game into a online multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is, but it sounds like there is at least ways to get around that and play it, hopefully.
Oh, so this isn't a basketball game.
No. Side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Maybe I will play it. I just won't play as LeBron.
It looks pretty sweet. I will play as LeBron for you, Dominic. Yeah, like I don't know how long a game it is. It's probably more of a marketing thing than anything, but it seems pretty sweet. So I'm definitely intrigued by it.
It's just exclusive to Xbox Game Pass?
Yeah. First it's coming out on Game Pass, and then it'll be available on Xbox in general afterwards for free.
Oh, okay.
But it's like it's going to be one of those like perks or whatever they call them. So looks pretty neat. All right, Dominic, did you see any other news this week before we get to new releases?
I saw this with the Far Cry 5, and I think the other games, maybe the other games too, had map editors. And there's on Far Cry 5, there's a map editor of the GoldenEye somebody recreated.
Somebody made GoldenEye.
Yeah, and that was pretty good apparently, but MGM
took it down. With that cease and desist, huh?
I just don't see how you do that. Like it's a map. It's not. It could have been so exactly the same. There was probably something different. So how do you?
I'm guessing they must have used like the GoldenEye name or something somewhere, right? Like something that's actually copyrightable.
You should have said Golden Goose.
Titanium nose.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, but the guy seems like GoldenEye maps on Far Cry 5 were taken down, and the person put out the statement. The guy created said Ubisoft send me Ubisoft. Okay, I guess maybe he's not American.
Maybe it was translated or something.
Yeah, Ubisoft sent me a mail because they got one from MGM. I think the reason is that this project becomes more popular after 3 years now, and because of IGN, Kotaku, etc., made an article. Many people know about it now. Yes, what can I say? It's really sad, but my work isn't deleted because I have saved the levels on my PS4/5, on my PS Plus Cloud, and USB stick. I don't know if there is a legal way to upload them again because I'm on their radar now, I think.
Not legal, but
then he said, confirm MGM took down the maps. I'll update with how to play them on PC soon. This person said.
There you go.
This person who retweeted this statement.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like this or like an AM2R or something like that. Once it's out there, there's a good chance that you can probably find it in some way, shape, or form, which is at least nice. And also terrible at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, I know now, like, what sales are you losing?
Right, yeah.
You don't have a game out.
I mean, it could be just like just like the conversation that we probably had about this with Metroid. It's probably like 2 weeks from now, MGM has announced that they've partnered with somebody to create a new GoldenEye game.
But they already got a James Bond game coming out.
Oh yeah, they do, don't
people,
they?
Right?
Yeah, the Agent 47 guys, the IOI guys, Hitman guys. Those are the people I was looking for.
I'm like, darn, who is this? It's like you're not losing any sales from this shit.
Yeah. Companies being companies, Dominic. Got to protect your copyrights or whatever they say. Otherwise, you lose them.
All right, yeah, that's all I have, man.
All right, Dominic, we got new releases. We actually have a new release from 2 weeks ago because I somehow missed it that week. Game Builder Garage, the Nintendo game building software. I've actually not been seeing particularly great reviews or thoughts on this game, which is why I haven't really picked it up yet. Because I was very, very interested in checking this out. Like, getting a game engine tool or game building tool from, some of the people that make the greatest games in the world. I was very excited for it, but it sounds like it's kind of simplistic and bland in a way that I really hoped it wouldn't be. So, we also have from last week, The Elder Scrolls Online for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Still kicking, Dominic. More DLC coming, I'm sure. And Metro Exodus Complete Edition also for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. So those are out now. And then this week's we got Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX now out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X.
I gotta look this game up.
It sounds like it's not great. It's got a 65 currently on Metacritic. And one of the headlines I saw from Shack News was that it is faithful to a fault. So maybe a little too close to the original game to be good. But they did improve the art style in a way that I like. I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
That's unfortunate. All right, Dominic, as you mentioned earlier, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance, that's now on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X, and that's, not getting great reviews, not getting great review from you either, so maybe try that out on Game Pass, but don't plunk too much money down for it.
They should get them off for this game too, but maybe they're smart not to do one.
I was going to say they maybe don't want people trying this out before they put their money.
But shucks, based on those Twitter people I was looking up about the game, this game is awesome. So
those people haven't even played the game now. They're just like, I like the old one. Stop making fun of this one. That's all that was. All right, we also got Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official video game.
Now, were they just holding out on this game for a whole year, or?
So based on the Wikipedia thing, it had come out previously in Japan. I don't know how long ago. But yeah, you got to wonder if all of these copies were already printed up and just sitting in a warehouse somewhere waiting for it to be closer to the Olympics. And, it's an Olympic game, Dominic. I don't think anybody's expecting much out of the official Olympic game. Call me when...
there was somebody who I was playing it on Xbox who was looking it up and was like, I gotta get this game.
All right, Worms Rumble. That's now out on the Switch, the Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Fuck the PlayStation right now. You played a little bit of that. What did you thought that was okay, right?
Yeah, but it's already out on the PlayStation.
Yeah. That's why I said fuck the PlayStation.
Oh.
Fuck the PlayStation this week, Dominic.
And I actually did play it. I forgot to mention, I did try it out on the Xbox, on the PC.
Oh,
and I tried to use my keyboard, and
how'd that go?
I was still unsuccessful. I still sucked. So
it wasn't the controller's fault then?
No.
It's definitely the game's fault then.
I'm trying to find a good map of the keys for me to move this stuff, because the aim is great with the mouse. It's just me doing everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm just not getting a handle of that.
I know back in the day it used to be, well, I guess it probably doesn't apply anymore, because it used to be like spacebar was shoot, and then like ASW, all that was move, and then you had the weapon switching.
Spacebar is jump.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's always been jump.
Just the mouse.
Maybe I'm just thinking too far back to before you used mouse for anything. Yeah, because you used to use the arrow keys for like up and down aiming and everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Far back, Dominic. Too far back. All right, next up we got Legend of Mana for the PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS4.
Oh, that's cool. And I heard, it looks good. Mm-hmm. I like the art style they did with this.
Yeah.
And this is a game I never got my hands on, but I heard great things about. So I'll see. Maybe in some future. When I have no other games to play.
When you've run out of other things. It will be your last resort. All right, Dominic. And then the last one we got this week, Mario Golf Super Rush for the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, I played a little bit of that so far. I'm liking it, but I'm a little concerned that it might be a little bare bones, more bare bones than I want it to be.
That is something to... Especially, why would they... I don't like this. Like, don't force people to unlock... Unless maps during your gameplay. Even though... Okay, I'm going to rephrase that. Just, if you want to... You can have some maps unlock, during the story mode, maybe. But have a ton of maps, too, from the outset.
Yeah.
Because not everybody wants to... Some people just like the golf.
Right.
They don't want to play the story. Especially if the story's not good. If the story's not good, then I'm not going to fuck with it.
Right.
But I like the golf.
I don't want to interact with RPG elements, too. Yeah, like, people that just want to get in. I mean, I literally, I was just like, I just want to see this game, so I jumped into a course. Like, I didn't feel like starting up the story and going through whatever you have to do there. Yeah, people just want to jump into this real quick and get started.
Like, maybe do something like you can unlock some costumes or something when you do the gameplay, not the maps. The maps are all there.
Yeah.
Like, make it so that, because especially like a golf game, a sports game, you're not going to have everybody's not going to be playing it for the story. Some people just like the golf. They just like that part of it, the actual gameplay.
And that seems pretty solid here, so I'm hoping that turns out to be true. Did you play it
with the motion controls?
I have not yet, actually. I was just playing with the buttons, but I absolutely will, because, it's got to live up to the high bar of Wii Sports, Dominic.
Yes, it does.
Just not sure it's going to be able to pull that off. But
I didn't play Wii Sports, the golf part, that much. I played the Tiger Woods golf game when I bought that. I played the shit out of that game. So mad then they had the Masters in that version. Can never get that green jacket.
They'll never let you play on their courses, Dominic.
I said they're racist. They want a lot of black man on the Masters court.
Exactly. Yeah, they didn't want it.
They didn't want a pure black man. Not a hybrid like Tiger Woods. That's stop.
Best of both worlds.
But I do want I hope the EA and the 2K ones turn out to be great. Well, 2K's already started, but they're going to get probably better as time goes on. Maybe they have a good story mode to put in the next one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hope the EA one golf game.
You don't really see much in the golf games.
They better be a real story too, not some what was that one with the guy from Transformers played in? He was like a poor boy caddy, and he got to be a good golfer or something. Shia LaBeouf was in. I forgot, the greatest game or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
you're talking about like Beggar
You better be realistic. You're a rich white boy and you good at golf. Yeah, that's better be your damn story.
And your father took you out of school at the age of 6, so
and
that
if you
could
be
only
a black
play
person,
golf.
you were adopted or something. Because ain't no way in hell you gonna be that good at golf.
Just like, natural talent.
You get that? But it's gotta be realistic. They can do that because look, basketball. No matter if you put a black, white person. If you be a white person, once I did that, I was a white dude in 2K. He had a black voice, and he was all talking, the slang and stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this don't make any sense. like this dude sounds like a black man, and I ain't talk about he don't even sound like no Eminem or not. No, he sounds like a black man.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I don't expect them to pay 2 voice actors, do you, Dominic?
Come on. I'm like, it's not only black people who play the sport. I mean, come on, you got the Luka Doncic, those Europeans.
Oh, so you want them to have a European accent too? Goodness, Dominic. How many voice actors do you want?
Well, I'm just saying, you at least have a white dude in there, man. You gotta at least have a white dude. I mean, yo, look at the crowds. I'm just saying who goes to basketball games. You gotta have a white dude. I mean, like they play the games too. Look, I understand
when we play
it's
the
mostly
games,
black.
we go, "Oh, our voice is pretty cool sounding." I've never sounded that cool in my life.
And especially from what the people I hear online, I mean, there's some white people who play these games. Though I'm thinking, Daniel,
because they're all the ones calling you the N-word.
Dudes. Because when I look on my court, Daniel, it's a lot of black people. And I'm like, is this where all the black gamers are? Or
no? Or
is this like, are white people just being black people?
It's white people being black people, Dominic. It's just like all the dudes being chicks. Like that's.
I need my friend to go investigate that because he plays that game a lot. Because I am very curious about that.
Do some investigative journalism.
Yeah, I am very curious because I want to know what's going on. I mean, I don't see it as a problem. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting that's the case. Maybe they just look at it like, hey, a bunch of black people play basketball, so that's what I'm going to do.
Coming to a cultural understanding through NBA 2K.
Yeah.
Good time, Dominic. All right.
I wouldn't call it cultural understanding. I think they still say the N-word.
Oh, no. That was completely joking, Dominic. That was definitely not serious. Yes. I mean, that's how you get your results right there. Like, ask, hey, are you a black guy? And if they call you the N-word, then absolutely no, they're not.
With the hard ER.
Of course. Ugh. The internet is bad. All right, Dominic, you got anything else for the week?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. Superpod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast. And, of course, all the other podcast places, including iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Until next time, guys, see you later.
All right, see you.